Halstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
And a pleasant good Friday morning for a little brunch in baseball in day 2 here of the Region 1 Baseball Tournament from Cummings Field in Oaks. I'm Chase Miller alongside Joey Hughes, where today we have a semifinal round matchup with the Kindred Vikings and alongside the Central Cass Squirrels. Good news for both teams. No matter what happens today, you're making your way to Monday, part of the last 3 teams in the Region 1 Baseball Tournament. For the Central Cass Squirrels and the Kindred Vikings, you win, you'll play at 6 o'clock on Monday in the championship. A loss will put you at 4 o'clock in an elimination game to try to get to the championship, where if you lose this game, you have to win 3 to make it to state. If you win this game, you just have to win 1 more to make it to a state tournament. And then following that, we'll have 3 elimination games a little bit later on today at 1, 4, and 6 o'clock as well. We'll take a break, and we come back. We'll hear from the coaches, get to our bracket breakdown, get to our starting lineups, all and more still to come here today from Oaks, North Dakota. This is the Region 1 Baseball Tournament.
At Bank North, we strive to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. One transaction, one relationship, and one community at a time. We do it by supporting kids and schools, pitching in to help neighbors in need, partnering with rural businesses, and providing all the traditional and modern banking products and personalized lending services you expect from a reliable financial partner. Bank North, always true.
There's a new inventory of trailers at Bloomfield Enterprises of Hillsboro. You can see the latest inventory online at bloomfieldtrailers.com. Bloomfield Enterprises has a full line of Big Tex trailers. Big Tex has affordable and versatile utility trailers for all your jobs. Big Tex has a full line of products from ATV trailers to gooseneck to dump trailers and more. Call Larry at 218-368-7989 or Tim at 701-430-0877. Bloomfield Enterprises in Hillsboro.
Growers, prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions today and beyond with the Drain Tile Project from Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yield and land values for years to come. Chad's Excavating provides free detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Sharing our heritage, sharing our future. Choosing the right bank for your financial needs can be challenging with the many choices available. Dakota Heritage Bank is pleased you're interested in knowing more about what they can do for you. The Dakota Heritage Bank community bank setting is a strong advantage they have over larger, less personal banks. Customers are more than account numbers, they are friends and neighbors. Working together, Dakota Heritage Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
As we continue here on YourLiveEvent.com, taking a look at our bracket breakdown and what happened yesterday here as part of the Region 1 baseball tournament brought to you in part by Bank North. Yesterday, the Kindred Vikings in a tight game with the Sargent County Bulldogs. Eli Mack had a couple of RBIs early in that game in the first and the third inning, and then there was a solo home run by Erickson Wyckoff to make it 2-1 after 4. The Kindred Vikings added a couple runs late in the fifth, and then doing a good job was Carter Grunwald on the mound, picking up the win. 5 innings of work, 5 hits, 1 run that was earned, 8 strikeouts and 2 walks. Fisher Johnson came on and delivered the save in 2 innings of work of no-hit baseball, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts as well. Eli Mack with 2 runs driven in. Jeremy Knight with a run driven in here for the Kindred Vikings. While for the Central Cass Squirrels and what they were able to do yesterday against the Oaks Tornadoes, 2 big innings offensively, 3 runs in the third, and then they had 6 runs in the 6th inning. A big part of the game was when Grady Mueller came on and relieved Rylan Boder. It was 3-2 in the top of the 6th, bases loaded, 1 down, and Mueller got back-to-back strikeouts to get out of the top half of the inning. Eventually then in the bottom half of the 6th inning, Mr. Brody Kegley had a grand slam home run that really opened up the game in a 9-2 win for the Central Cass Squirrels. Boder picks up the win going 5 1/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 that was earned, 3 walks and 6 strikeouts. And then Grady Mueller with an inning and 2/3 of work, no hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts in the save at the plate. Jack Everson, 2 of 3 with 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs, and a walk as well for the Central Cass Squirrels. So that was what happened in the winner's bracket yesterday. In the loser's bracket, the Enderlin Eagles scored the first 8 runs of the game against Oak Grove, but eventually fell to the Grovers 22-12 in that contest as the Oak Grove Grovers survived and advanced in an elimination contest. A couple players who had really good performances. Zach Winter had a 3-run homer in the first. He would finish with 5 runs driven in. Jack Bjornson had a 3-run homer as well. Came on in relief and pitched awfully good late in that contest as Oak Grove survived and advanced with a 22-12 win in 6 innings. The Northern Cass of the Ball Stars of Hankinson, Fairmount, Campbell, Tinta, Rossolt, and Lidgerwood. The Ball Stars lost to Northern Cass 8-4 after scoring the first 4 runs in the first inning on no hits. Eventually coming in was Brody Zeski, who pitched really well for Northern Cass in relief. And at the plate, Chris Hoyland had 5 runs driven in, including a 2-run homer in the first and a 3 RBI bases clearing triple in the second. Kaysen Miller had 2 doubles and 2 runs driven in for Northern Cass in their 8-4 win. So here's the matchups today as part of our bracket breakdown, brought to you in part by Bank North. Kindred and Central Cass here in the semifinals. Then you have Oak Grove and Oaks in our first elimination game of the day. That'll be at 1 o'clock. At 4 o'clock, it's Northern Cass and Sargent County in our second elimination game. The winner of the Bulldogs and the Jags will play the winner of Oaks and Oak Grove roughly at around 6 o'clock later tonight. Monday, the loser of this game will play at 4 o'clock. The winner will play at 6. And then Tuesday, if needed, is championship game number 2. Right now, Monday is probably a little bit more in question just with the weather. Once we get to Sunday and Monday and see how much rain we do get, that makes its way through the Red River Valley. But regardless, again, for both Kindred and Central Cass, you lose today, your season's not done. It just makes it a little bit tougher to try to get to a state tournament where you need 3 consecutive wins, where if you win this game, you just need to win 1 on Monday or Tuesday, and you'll head to the Buffalo City. We'll take a break, and we come back. We'll get to our coaches' conversation. That, again, is our bracket breakdown, brought to you in part by Bank North. From everyday banking to ag and business lending, Bank North supports local communities and businesses with financial solutions rooted in community commitment and local decisions. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Go to banknorth.bank. That's banknorth.bank. We're back with our coaches' conversation. We'll hear from Coach Maggio and Scout Milbrandt ahead of our starting lineups.
Emery Vistos Implement has been family-owned and operated since 1935. Located in Oaks, North Dakota, they sell CarQuest automotive parts and numerous lines of agriculture parts. Plus, you'll have to stop by and check out their clothing and footwear department, featuring the brands of Brothers in Arms, Howitzer, Ariat, Cinch, and Twisted X Footwear. Emery Vistos Implement, everything and anything you need is under one roof. Stop in just south of Oaks on Highway 1 or call 701-742-2167.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting, with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting what's important in life.
Get in touch with David Bergerman today at 701-724-6252.
Great Plains Fireworks and Sports Collectibles, Hillsboro. Fireworks and sports stuff in the same store? That's right. Great Plains Fireworks and Sports Collectibles, Hillsboro. Come in and browse the sports cards and memorabilia and fireworks at the same time. Unopened packs and boxes of sports cards, plus pre-owned cards as well. Jersey, swatch, autograph cards, lots of Twins, Vikings, Wolves, Wild, Lynx, and North Stars memorabilia, bobbleheads, caps, and more. Call anytime, 701-436-6140. Great Plains Fireworks and Sports Collectibles, Hillsboro.
As we continue on the pregame show here today, brought to you in part by our friends with this interview with Dakota Heritage Bank. Joining us from the Central Cast perspective is their head coach. That's Dustin Maggio as they tangle with the Kindred Vikings. Dustin, before we talk about the matchup with Kindred, obviously you and Oaks played a really good postseason baseball game yesterday. Rylan Motor did a really good job getting you deep into the game. Grady came in with those two big strikeouts with the bases loaded. Then bottom half of the sixth inning, you get the grand slam from Kegley. What do you think just worked for you guys in that sixth when Oaks was pushing you a little bit, but you had the response both on the mound and at the plate?
I think the big thing was we didn't get down on ourselves. I think we expected to, get the big hit or you drive in a run here or there. And they struggled a little bit on the mound in the sixth too. That helped us, gave us a couple runs. But anytime you can hit a home run, especially a grand slam that late, that's huge.
You go through the Kindred Vikings. This will be about the third time you played them in terms of a 7-inning game back in March. Just over a week ago, you played them again, and now you see them here. So what's the one thing that you've seen from them that you'll take with you here into this third matchup later today?
I feel like they put the ball in play, so our defense is going to have to work. Pitching, we're going to have to try and keep them off balance a little bit, and hopefully we field the ball and throw it where it's supposed to go.
You mentioned field the ball, throw it to where you go. A guy that was steady Eddie for you yesterday, Jack Everson at the plate. Also, when you needed to make a play defensively, he was there. Talk about what he's meant as a steady Eddie guy for you.
He's the hardest guy on himself. So if he bobbles a ball or something, he's down on himself. But man, just steady. He's all over the place. He goes and gets the ball to his left, to his right, and puts the ball in play every time at bat. So it's huge to have a senior like that leading the group.
You look at a guy like Keegan taking the mound here. What does he need to do against a lineup like the Kindred Vikings?
Keep him off balance. He can't rely on the fastball. They'll sit on the fastball. He needs to change speeds and move the ball inside, outside.
Hey, Dustin, as always, thanks so much for your time and best of luck here today.
Thanks, Chase.
That again, Coach Maggio from the Central Cast Squirrels. We'll continue with more after this here in Oaks.
It's safe to say we have it pretty good in the Drayton, North Dakota area. Growing sugar beets, making sugar, bringing a little sweetness to the world. Every day, American Crystal Sugar produces sweet products people love in a place we love to call home. It's a thing we like to call the sweet life, and we're proud to share it with you. American Crystal Sugar's Drayton facility wants you to enjoy the events in the communities of our area. Here's to living the sweet life. American Crystal Sugar, Drayton.
Imagine your life in Hillsboro, a place where neighbors know your name and opportunities are real. Here, you'll find affordable home lots and grants to help you build your future. In Hillsboro, safety, affordability, and community aren't just promises, they're our way of life. With a 24-hour fitness center, a strong school system, a trusted hospital, and a thriving business district, Hillsboro has everything you need to live well. Here, your family is our family, and your future shines bright. Discover Hillsboro, where small-town living means big opportunities.
As we continue here on our pregame show, this interview brought to you in part by Dakota Heritage Bank. It is the Kindred Vikings going up against the Central Cass Squirrels. Joining us from the Kindred perspective is their head coach, Scott Milbrandt. Scott, before we talk about Central Cass, let's recap your matchup yesterday. First things first, Eli Mack came up with some timely hits early on for you to build you a little bit of a lead and a cushion. Just what did you see from his performance at the plate yesterday morning?
He was really disciplined yesterday. Eli came up big for us. I mean, we talk about defensively, we made great plays, and then offensively get that timely hit, and he did that for us.
You look at Central Cass, another time that you go around the world with them here a couple times. You met back in March and then just over a week ago in Kindred. So what's going to be a challenge coming up against Coach Maggio team later today?
Oh, it's going to be a battle again, just like it was, last Thursday. So it's something different. It's Kindred versus Central Cass, right? Great coach team. We are going to have to be ready to play. We have to make plays. You cannot give Central Cass an extra out because they're going to take that opportunity and they're going to make you pay.
The one thing, too, going into this game, Brock Johnson going to take the start for you. So I know I asked you this, back last week on Thursday, but in terms of Brock's performance, what's a pitch or what does he need to do early on in the game against the Central Cass lineup?
Again, we got to pound the zone early, and you have to put some pressure and keep them off balance because they're a good hitting team. We have good defense behind Brock. If he can pound the zone and not give them some free bases, I like our chances.
You go back to Sargent County, there were some different moments in that game that felt like postseason baseball, both offense and defense in terms of trying to get off the field, make some plays. Fisher comes in and kind of shuts the door. So what did you learn from your team in a situation that was postseason baseball yesterday that you hope to carry over for the rest of this tournament here, Scott?
They play with confidence, which is good. And if a mistake happens, they can wipe that off and we can be confident, okay, next pitch, we're gonna take care of things. I give Sargent County a lot of credit. They gave us a battle yesterday. They played really well, but that's tournament time, right? You better be ready.
Hey, Scott, as always, thanks so much for your time and good luck today.
Thank you.
That again, Scott Milbrandt, head coach of the Kindred Vikings. This interview brought to you in part by Dakota Heritage Bank.
Hunter Insurance Agency is a locally owned full-service agency providing protection and coverage in a number of different areas. Hunter Insurance Agency offers multi-peril crop insurance, crop hail insurance, and farm insurance for buildings and equipment. Plus, they offer home, auto, life, and business insurance. For more information, go online to hunterinsuranceagency.com or stop in and speak with Johnny Jorgensen at Hunter Insurance Agency. Find them at 201 Main Street, Hunter.
The Kindred Public School District looks to collaboratively cultivate an environment that challenges learners to reach their full potential in a student-centered, community-supported environment while building authentic relationships that promotes active engagement in learning, literacy, and life. Kindred Public Schools' mission is to educate, prepare, and maximize student potential. Kindred Public School District, student-centered, community-supported. For more info about upcoming school events and news, go online to kindred.k12.us.
As we continue here on YourLiveEvent.com, this is the Region 1 Baseball Tournament as we take a look here. As this interview is brought to you in part by Dakota Heritage Bank, sharing their heritage and their future with locations in North Dakota and Minnesota. Go to dhb.bank. That again is Dakota Heritage Bank. Go to dhb.bank. Taking a look here, it's the Kindred Vikings and alongside the Central Cass Squirrels. Kindred, the number 1 seed, Central Cass, the number 3. Central Cass with their red tops with the white pants here today, while the Kindred Vikings will be in their white uniforms with the blue numerals and blue lettering here in this one. Taking a look at the weather, compared to yesterday, this isn't too shabby from where it was 24 hours ago. 69 degrees as it stands right now. We're going to be in some windy conditions with gusts making its way up to about 30 miles per hour throughout the course of today. But yesterday we had gusts in the 40s, even in the mid-40s at particular times. And the wind will be blowing out. So if you get one and tattoo a good hit to straightaway center field, you might have a chance to dance one out of here a little bit later on throughout the course of the afternoon. First game again, semifinals, next 3 elimination games. And a reminder, we will have the Southeast Regional Track and Field Meet tomorrow in Kindred. Our coverage begins at 10:30 in the morning with the field portion. Then we'll get to the pitching portion, the track and field, the track portion at noon tomorrow here on yourlivevent.com. Also, the Region 1 softball tournament gets underway. Central Cass will play at 11 o'clock in the morning as the number 1 seed. Kindred will play a little bit later on in the afternoon, roughly at around 3 o'clock tomorrow as the number 2 seed. We'll have that for you for the Region 1 softball tournament right here on yourlivevent.com. I'm Chase Miller, alongside Joey Hughes. When we come back, opening pitch brought to you in part by Norman County Raceway. Starting lineup, and more still to come here today from Oaks.
Milner Grain understands that agriculture is your livelihood, and we're committed to providing you with the highest quality of services to meet your farming needs. Milner Grain has a passion for our community and the farmers we serve. Milner Grain is locally owned and operated. When you're looking for a partner in the field, look to Milner Grain. Call 701-427-5284 or check out Milner Grain's app with current up-to-date prices. Milner Grain is here to help you and your farm grow.
Welcome to the 130th Annual Norman County Fair, June 24th through 27th, Ada, Minnesota. FFA Day. New this year, Jindo Bingo, the Big Air ATV show in the R&J Broadcasting Grandstand. Plus free music, basketball challenge, Check 6 Veterans Day, Youth Day, Senior Day, racing, the Mooncats, lumberjack shows, and so much more. For the full schedule, visit NormanCountyFair.com. Norman County Fair, Ada, Minnesota, June 24th through 27th. It's where summer begins and the fun never ends.
The World of Outlaws late models are coming to Norman County Raceway on June 30th, 2026. Infield seating, your chance to meet your favorite National Touring Series drivers, and much, much more. Tickets are available now at ncraceway.com. Order yours today.
And we'll see you June 30th, 2026.
R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is accepting applications for a broadcast sales representative. Applicant should be self-motivated, organized, have ability to communicate clearly, and the desire to help our customer partners grow their business with customer service for their advertising and marketing needs. All experience levels are encouraged to apply. To apply, email your resume to apply@rjbroadcasting.com. R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Today from Cummings Field here on yourlivevent.com, we get you ready for the first pitch. It's time to rev it up here in day number 2 in Oaks, brought to you in part by Norman County Raceway. Get ready for racing on the radio this Friday night. That's tonight here on KRJB, the season opener up in Ada. Check out their entire racing schedule at NormanCountyRaceway.com. That's NormanCountyRaceway.com. First 2 games here of the season went to Central Cass and Kindred. They split. They played a non-region game way back on March the 30th in Castleton. It was 7-4 in favor of Central Cass. And on May the 7th, Kindred won the region contest, which secured a Region 1 championship in the regular season, 5-2 for the Kindred Vikings over the Central Cass Squirrels. Our umpires here today, Eric Olson and Chris Larson up the base paths, calling balls and strikes in this one is Justin Farkas, as Central Cass will go like this. Jack Everson, the senior shortstop, batting leadoff, with Brody Cagley, the junior second baseman, batting second. Ryan Osmondstad, the junior left fielder, third, with Keegan Peterson, the senior pitcher, batting in the cleanup spot. Carver Kozowski, the sophomore third baseman, batting fifth, with Grayson Lewis behind the plate, batting sixth for the senior. Bryce Mueller, the junior first baseman, batting seventh. Grady Mueller, the junior DH, batting eighth. Lucas Christensen, the junior center fielder, ninth, and Cole Boer will be in right field here today for the Central Cass Squirrels. Head coach is Dustin Maggio here for the Squirrels. Head coach for the Kindred Vikings, that is Scott Milbrandt. We'll get to their infield, outfield here in a moment. Brock Johnson taking the mound with Mr. Hess behind the plate. Brock Johnson against Jack Everson. It's the opening pitch here, brought to you in part by Norman County Raceway, just after the 11 o'clock hour. The Vikings and the Squirrels here today in Oaks, as we get you ready for this matchup and see who's going to get one step closer to a potential region championship. Opening pitch at 11:04, brought to you in part by the Norman County Raceway. As we go from there, Jack Everson will be batting in the leadoff spot here. Central Cass with Everson will hit a grounder. That'll go to Iverson over at short. Iverson flips it across the diamond in time for the out. Everson is retired on 2 pitches, 6-3 on the putout, and there's 1 down. Central Cass coming into today, having a .459 batting average in 2 games here in the Region 1 tournament, as they've been able to put a multitude of runs up on the board as well with a number of runs, and they put 9 runs up against the Oaks Tornadoes yesterday. So far, with 7 walks and 6 strikeouts. While for the Kindred Vikings and what they've been able to do pitching-wise so far through 2 games here at the region tournament, 12 innings of work, 8 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned with 4 walks and 18 strikeouts here for the Vikings. Brody Kegley with the big hit yesterday. He will hit this one foul, as Kegley hit a grand slam home run in the bottom of the 6th inning that really separated themselves and Oaks to get to this point here in this tournament. 1 of 4 yesterday, and Brody, the one that he hit, he smashed it to straightaway center field. Here's the pitch. That'll miss outside for a ball. Getty in left field with Baumgarten in center, Jeremy Knight in right. We'll get to the infield here after the pitch to Kegley. As Brock Johnson sees this one. Kegley inside out swing. That's going to go to left field and die in front of Getty. Getty able to make the play and field it. Brody Kegley gets aboard for the first base hit of this semifinal. Fisher Johnson over at third base with Iverson at shortstop. Second is Schliemann and Bernier at first, with Hess behind the plate here this morning, as we have a little brunch in baseball yet again here for the Region 1 baseball tournament, as we will go from 6 to 3 teams still alive before we sign off here later tonight in Oaks, as Ryan Osmondstad will see this one miss for a ball. It's 1-0. Ryan yesterday able to get a sacrifice fly, a run driven in, went 0 for 3 at the plate against the Tornadoes. As the 1-0 pitch upcoming from Johnson, that'll miss. It's now 2-0. Both coaches just kind of know what they're getting into. It's the 3rd time that you've matched up in a 7-inning counter, the 5th time you've seen each other in terms of that 7 and 5 that you played the doubleheaders earlier this year. As this is called the strike, it's 2-1. So teams well versed with one another, and coming in, both of them into the season. Looked at the lineups, looked at the seniors and the players and rosters you had coming back. You felt if they could stay healthy, they would have a chance to be in a situation like this, which is close to knocking on a door of a state tournament appearance. This one is called a strike, now 2-2. For the Vikings, 7 state tournament appearances all-time in program history, with 2 upcoming with a state title back in 2011. As there's a fly ball in the air for Ryan Osmondstad. Getty goes into the alley, makes the catch. So Osmondstad is retired on a fly out to left, and there's 2 down as Keegan Peterson, the senior pitcher, will step in. 7 state tournament appearances, all-time 5 is Kindred Richland, 2 for Kindred back in 1950 and 59 separately. Their state championship was a 3-0 win over Grafton back in 2011 for the Vikings. It's been a little while since they made it to state, however, from a baseball perspective. It's been since 2017, so nearing that decade mark here for the Kindred Vikings. While for the Central Cass Squirrels, been there, done that here in this particular decade. The 1-0 pitch going to be called a strike. It's 1-1. Keegan Peterson for the Central Cass Squirrels will be going up against his counterpart here, as Peterson digs in for the senior pitcher. As this one missing low, now 2-1. Carver Kozowski due up next, as you got Kegley being held on at first by Bernier. Trying to see which team can play with the lead for the first time here today. The 2-1 offering's going to be laced down the left field line. That's going to be a fair ball. Getty's going to have to try to cut this one off. He does before it gets to the fence. Throws it back into the third baseman. Getty does a good job getting to it. If that went to the fence, Brody Kegley probably would have came in and scored. Getty did a good job cutting it off. Threw it to Thorne. That does allow on the throw Peterson to scamper into second base. Kegley will be at third now, and the Central Cass Squirrels knocking on the door here, top of the first inning. It's 2 runners on with 2 outs, as we'll get a courtesy runner now into the game for the Central Cass Squirrels. As for Peterson, he will check out as the pitcher. As coming in here for Central Cass, as we'll see Aiden Thummel. As Thummel will come on now here for the junior. As they see it here with Carver Kozowski, the sophomore third baseman. As Johnson works from the stretch, You'll see this fastball in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Carver Kozowski here for Central Cass. Able to reach base, get a run scored yesterday. Went 0 for 3 at the plate against Oaks. Check swing, does not go through the zone. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Lewis due up next. Big early spot in the contest here for Central Cass, trying to see if they can put a run or two across here in the top of the first inning. The 1-1. Good spot missing out of the zone. It's 2-1. The 1 seed of the Vikings against the 3 seed of the Squirrels. Seeds really don't make too much of a difference anymore after today, as we know everything is scheduled to go to Kindred, as that's a towering pop-up into short center. Coming in will be Baumgarten, and he will make the catch. Kozowski is retired. There were no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left. We played a half inning today on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. Central Cass scoreless, Kindred coming to the plate.
Take your softball or baseball skills to the next level with personalized instruction from the professional staff at the Ball Yard. Their mission is to provide area players, young and old, the opportunity to improve their skills in a professional level facility and to provide a high level of instruction to youth players to help them achieve their goals at the Ball Yard. Come and visit the one place in the Fargo-Moorhead area where it's always summer. For more information, go online to fmballyard.com. That's fmballyard.com.
What was that? Is that top insurance?
No, I'm pretty sure it's Toop Insurance.
Maybe Toupee.
Could be Toupee. Yeah, I don't know.
Or Taupe Insurance, maybe?
I don't think so.
Say it right. That's T-O-O-P. That's Taupe.
Oh, it's Taupe.
That's Taupe Insurance in Castleton. Get in touch with Ryan today for a quote or review of your policies.
Back here on YourLiveEvent.com from Cummings Field in Oaks, North Dakota, I'm Chase Miller alongside Joey Hughes. Thanks so much for tuning in to our broadcast here today on YourLiveEvent.com. As again, with the number 1 seed for Kindred, everything is scheduled to be in Kindred through the duration of this tournament moving forward. Now, that's also pending how much rain and moisture that we get. They could move it to a different baseball field, as an example of last year, where everything moved its way to Castleton to host with the turf and just made sure they had everything to get in on time. Taking a look at the Kindred Vikings, Brady Baumgarten will be batting leadoff here with Jackson Schliemann batting second. Fisher Johnson, the junior third baseman, third. Carson Getty in the cleanup spot. Eli Mack, the sophomore DH, batting fifth, with Graham Hess, the junior catcher, batting sixth. Gabe Iverson, the senior shortstop, seventh. Jeremy Knight, the right fielder, batting eighth. Brock Johnson, the junior pitcher, ninth. Then Max Bernier again over at first base for the defensive side here for Scott Milbrandt and the Kindred Vikings. For the Central Cass Squirrels and the Kindred Vikings, what they've been able to do at the plate for Kindred, they're batting .450 in 2 games here at the Region 1 tournament. 26 runs across with 10 walks and 15 strikeouts. While for Central Cass, 12 innings as a unit for Lindstrom, Ryland Boder, and Grady Mueller, as they have given up 6 hits, 3 runs, 0 walks, and 9 strikeouts. So they've been equally as good as Kindred has in terms of their starting lineup here today, and for those on the mound here for Central Cass. Ryan Osmondstad in left field, Christensen in center, and Boer stands in right. Bryce Mueller at first, Cagley at second, Everson at shortstop, Kozowski over at third base, and Lewis is behind the plate with Keegan Peterson on the mound. This one runs up and in on Brady Baumgarten, the junior center fielder, trying to be a table setter here for the Vikings. Took 4 runs to beat the Bulldogs yesterday, 4-1, as this one is going to be grounded foul. It's 1-2, and sometimes you just never know. We got a little bit of pitchers' duels yesterday. Then we had you better bring your sticks to the yard, because you had to score 20-some runs to win a game as well. You just never know once you get to postseason baseball what you're going to get. Brady able to reach base a couple of times with 2 singles and a run scored, went 2 of 4 at the plate against the Bulldogs, as Keegan Peterson will see his 5th pitch of the at-bat upcoming here today. Cummings Field down the left field line, 316 down right to 302. Then it jettisons out to about 355 in right center. As there's a swing and a miss. Good breaking ball by Keegan Peterson. Baumgarten is retired on the strikeout as there's 1 down. About 365 to left field, 333 to straightaway center, and you do have the wind blowing more towards center field. Yesterday blowing a little more in and cross from left field to about the third base line. Jackson Schliemann, the lefty, sophomore second baseman. First pitch, he'll take a strike. It's 0-1. Schliemann 1 of 4 yesterday with a single against Sargent County. As Keegan Peterson getting his first start here for Central Cass in this tournament. As there's a good breaking ball in there for a strike. It's 0-2. Schliemann falls behind early against Peterson. Oaks and Oak Grove coming up next, roughly at around 1 o'clock here later today in the elimination game. As one of those two teams going to play 2 games today, have a chance to win 2, and the same thing for Northern Cass and Sargent County a little bit later on. Here's the 0-2 offering. That'll be hit right back up the middle and through for a base hit. Schliemann made good contact. He gets a 1-out single, and the Kindred Vikings get their first base runner of the game on against Keegan Peterson. So a runner on here for Kindred in the bottom of the first inning. It goes to Fisher Johnson. Fisher with a double and a run scored back in the third inning against Sargent County yesterday. Reached base twice with a hit by pitch. Schliemann will take his leave off of first base and sliding back in as Bryce Mueller applied the tag. As Keegan Peterson sees this, runner stays put. As this one will miss for a ball to Fisher Johnson. It's 1-0. Justin Farkas calling balls and strikes. Chris Larson, Eric Olson in the base pass with Chris at first. As this one gets by the first baseman, going to second will be Schliemann. Schliemann's going to take the turn and hold up there as he takes a look at Scott Milbrandt, says, puts the stop sign on. So on the errant throw, the Kindred Vikings will take an extra 90 feet, and now Fisher Johnson works with a runner in scoring position. So both teams threatening here in the first. Squirrels have runners at second and third, stranded them with 2 out in the top half of the frame. Johnson sees this one. That'll miss for a ball. It's 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes here to Johnson. As Peterson from the stretch sees this. There's a swing and a miss now. 2-1 as Schliemann will dance around second base, trying to get a little extra bit of room if he can. Take an extra 5 feet or so if you get a base hit through the infield to see if he can come in and score. Peterson, 2-1 pitch, breaking ball in there for a strike. Breaking ball that kind of ran in on Johnson a little bit if he would have swung. It's now 2-2. The 2-2 offering on the way from Peterson. Johnson hits it foul, and we'll do it all over again with the 6th pitch of the at-bat upcoming. This is the Region 1 baseball tournament here today on YourLiveEvent.com. 4 games from Oaks, and then at least 2, if not 3, if we need that second championship game still to come. So either, as the kids say, 6 or 7 games left. As this will be a called third strike. So Fisher Johnson is retired to strike 3 on the inner part of the plate. Keegan Peterson with a second strikeout, a large one at that. And Johnson is retired, and there's 2 down. As we get it to Carson Getty. So Getty, the cleanup spot, the senior left fielder, made a good defensive play to cut off the baseball. Again, earlier in the inning, the top of the first, that made sure Brody Kegley couldn't come in and score from first base on a swing and a hit by Keegan Peterson. As Getty has a 1-0 pitch upcoming from Peterson. This will be hit down the left field line, and this one will be a diving play by the left fielder, Ryan Osmondstad. Oh, what a play. There's a good grass stain early on a Friday morning. Ryan Osmondstad takes away a potential RBI hit from Carson Getty. As we played 1 today on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard, we're scoreless as we head to the second.
Stop on out to Watts Ace Hardware in Castleton and gear up with name brands from Steel, Milwaukee, Ego, and Craftsman Power Tools. Get ahead of your spring planting needs with flowers, shrubs, and trees. Watts Ace Hardware Greenhouse is open now. Watts Ace Hardware, a place you need to check out. Stop in at 1610 Governor's Drive in Castleton for Watts Ace Hardware and check out their greenhouse, which is open right now.
From on-site farm repairs to maintaining the condition of your vehicle, trust the staff at Welton's Tire Service. They've served the Lisbon area since 1972, guaranteeing customers satisfaction and workmanship from farm equipment, tire services, and preventative vehicle maintenance. You'll find it all from affordable prices, free estimates, to their knowledgeable technicians answering any question. Welton's Tire Service is locally owned and located on Main Street in Lisbon. For information, go online to weltonstire.net or call 701-683-5136.
From Cummings Field here today on YourLiveEvent.com, broadcasting from the Farmers Union Insurance David Bergman Agency broadcast booth. Your headquarters for home to life to farm, ranch, and more. Get in contact with David Bergman Agency in both the Foreman, Oaks, and surrounding communities at 701-724-6252. That's 701-724-6252. Farmers Union Insurance, David Bergman Agency. Chase Miller, Joey Hughes with you here as we continue to get into this second inning. As this would be hit on the ground, a one-hopper, Eli Mack coming up next for the Kindred Vikings in the bottom half of the second. But here in the top half of the second, Grayson Lewis is retired on one pitch to Brock Johnson, 1-3 on the putout as it goes to Bryce Mueller. Keegan Peterson has 16 pitches so far, while on the opposite side, Brock Johnson with 20 pitches thrown. Bryce Mueller, the junior first baseman, we'll dig in here for Central Cass. Squirrels got a little something brewing in the first inning after one out. Able to get Cagley and Peterson aboard, but couldn't bring them in. When every other out, single out, single out. And this one will be outside for as Bryce Mueller sees this in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes, the junior first baseman. A week from now, going to see some of these guys in the state track and field meets in terms of some of those that are dual sport athletes in the spring, as this is called the strike, or looking to maybe still potentially qualify. That'll be next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday already in Bismarck. And 2 weeks from now, one of these two teams hoping to make their way to the Buffalo City for the state baseball tournament as this one goes foul 2-2. Jack Brown Stadium, the host of the State B this year. Corbett Field up in Minot, home of the State A tournament. And you'll have the respective softball tournaments as well in Jamestown for the B and Minot for the A. The 2-2 pitch. That'll work outside for a ball. It's now 3-2 as we're already through the midway part of May the 15th. As we go through with our first 3-ball count here to a Central Cass batter for Brock Johnson. After one pitch with Lewis, Mueller working the count a little bit here. 3-2 pitch going to be hit on the ground underneath the glove of Johnson. Goes to Schliemann, makes a good play to Bernier. It's 4-3 on the putout, and there's 2 down. So 2 down as it goes to Grady Mueller, the junior designated hitter. Mueller yesterday came in and shut the door on Oaks when they needed to most after Ryland Boulder gave up a couple runs in the top of the 6th inning. He got back-to-back strikeouts with bases loaded, and that propelled Central Cass to their win over Oaks yesterday. As this one is fouled off, it's 0-1. Now you got Brock Johnson here working ahead here on Grady Mueller. After getting Bryce out, we'll see what he can do with Grady. The 0-1 missing inside for a ball. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. As the Kindred Vikings will come in as the 2 seed in softball for Sam Brandt. While in softball, we've got Scott Costa as the 1 seed coming into the region tournament tomorrow in Hillsboro. It'll be at Olson Softball Complex. Jake Berkemeyer will have the call for us right here on YourLiveEvent.com. As the softball tournament, 4 games on Saturday, 2 on Monday, then 3 on Tuesday is the schedule. As this one works outside for a ball, it's 3-1. Then for boys golf, the Super Regional making its way out to Carrington here in a couple weeks. States as well will be the first part of the month of June. As the 3-1 going to be outside. It's a 5-pitch walk for Grady Mueller. So the first free pass given up for Brock Johnson as it goes to Lucas Christensen. Christensen, the junior center fielder, coming up to the plate here for the Central Cass Squirrels. Yesterday in the number 9 hole with a single and a run scored in the 3rd inning, had a run driven in as well as he was able to get 2 runs across and went 1 of 2 at the plate. Christensen takes a strike, gets 0-1. Central Cass sent 5 batters to plate in the 1st inning, 4th batter here in the 2nd for the Squirrels, and then back to the top of the lineup where Everson is on the on-deck spot. This one going to be blocked by Hess, enough to keep the runner at bay with Grady Mueller over at first. It's 1-0. Wind starting to pick up just a little bit, but again, it's blowing more towards the outfield wall compared to yesterday, blowing more in where you had to turn the wind around a little bit for a homer. A 1-1 pitch. That'll be outside. It's now 2-1. So Brock Johnson, 2 hits, 1 walk so far here in this one. What is he going to do the first time through the lineup card? As the 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss, as Brock now is looking for his first punch out of the morning. Region 1 baseball tournament semifinal round action here today from Oaks. 2 balls, 2 strikes with Grady Mueller at first. 2-2 going to be hit on the ground underneath the diving glove of Iverson into center field. Baumgarten will come in and cut that one off. Good piece of hitting by Christensen right back up the middle. And the Squirrels are threatening as they did in the first. Now in the second with 2 runners on and 2 outs. Can they convert and get a run across, or can Brock Johnson work out of a little pickle yet again here against the Central Cass lineup? Back to the top of the lineup with Jack Everson. First time through the lineup card, an inning and 2/3 of work for Brock Johnson. Gave up 3 hits, 1 walk, and no strikeouts. Johnson goes off speed to Everson. Everson hits that one into right center field, and cutting that one off is Jeremy Knight. Just jammed him enough to keep that one up in the air. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left as Jack is retired here in the second inning. We played an inning and a half, still scoreless on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the 3-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
As we continue here on yourlivevent.com with a bracket breakdown brought to you in part by Bank North. Taking a look at games later today here on yourlivevent.com. Loser out game will be Oak Grove and Oaks at 1 o'clock. Another elimination game, Northern Cass and Sargent County at 4. With the winner of those 2 games to play each other later tonight, roughly at around 6, in our 3rd elimination contest. That's a bracket breakdown brought to you in part by Bank North. Go to banknorth.bank. That's banknorth.bank. From everyday banking to ag and business lending, Bank North. Go to Bank North. Online at banknorth.bank, as that was awfully close of hitting our camera up in the crow's nest on a foul ball here to Brody Kegley. Here's the pitch on the way to Eli Mack. As Mack sees this one, ducks and covers. Mack swing and miss, and that's a strikeout here on the way. So Keegan Peterson will see this as Lewis was going around the horn, and Eli Mack thought that it wasn't caught properly by Lewis, so Kozowski threw it around. Fortunately, quickly got it back to Bryce Mueller, where he kind of said, I'm not going to throw it to Jack or Kegley. I see Eli Mack hustling up that first base line. Regardless, it's a strikeout, so Keegan Peterson here gets the K. Now it goes to Graham Hess and then Gabe Iverson. Breaking ball that'll miss outside for a ball. It's 1-0. One ball, no strikes here to Graham Hess, the junior catcher. Righty-righty matchup. This one works for a ball as well. It's now 2-0. Kindred got a runner aboard in the first inning, then Getty was robbed of a base hit by Ryan Osmondstad in left field to finish the frame. There's a towering fly ball. Got a little carry to it to left center field, but Christensen there in the gap will make the play. Graham Hess got a good pitch to hit on a 2-0 count. Drove it into left center field. That'll be allowed out. That's number 2 as it goes to Iverson. You just kind of tell off the bat the ball's jumping a little bit here today in Oaks with the wind blowing out. So if you get underneath one here today and get it to the right spot of the jet stream, if you will, you can see one go a couple of feet past the outfield wall. Yesterday got to see some home runs here in Oaks and probably expecting 1 or 2 more throughout the course of today as well. Keegan Peterson falling behind here on Iverson. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. It's now 1-1. 4 batters in the first inning for Kindred. Keegan Peterson going up against the number 7 batter here in the Vikings lineup. As Peterson, righty-righty matchup. Breaking ball, good spot. That'll just miss out of the zone. It's 2-1. Peterson sees the 2-1. This is called a strike now, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes with Keegan Peterson. 2-2, that'll miss. Now 3-2. Jeremy Knight due up, and then eventually Brock Johnson and the number 9 spot here for the Kindred Vikings. Keegan Peterson's got that breaking ball working pretty good so far, though. Able to locate it as it stands. Find the catcher's man of Lewis, trying to mix in a little bit of a fastball here and there and keep the hitters off balance as it stands. The 3-2 offering, first full count here for a Viking batter, as this one check swing. Ball won't make its way all the way to first base regardless. So Iverson will take first. So Iverson will make his way to first base, and the Vikings get a batter aboard here in the bottom of the second inning. As Keegan Peterson going to make his way through, as they'll call it a strikeout here, it looks like, on the official box score, and then eventually Gabe will take first base as well. So a drop third strike. As Lewis sees this one, trying to break to second base. Here's the throw by Lewis, not going to be in time, as Iverson will able to get into scoring position. So Jeremy Knight falls behind the count for the sophomore right fielder. He's been a good table setter for Scott Milbrand, putting the ball in play in the bottom of this lineup here this season. If he can put the ball in play right now, could give the Vikings a lead, as this one works out of the zone for a ball. It's 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, as you see Keegan Peterson here on the bump. Takes a look back at the runner at second base with Iverson. There's a good pitch. Breaking ball again, 1-2. So fans have made their way down to Oaks here for both Central Cass and Kindred. Be a little bit closer to home for both teams here on Monday, Tuesday. There's a swing and a miss. Peterson able to get out of the inning as he eventually strikes out the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a runner left on base. We played 2 today on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. Scoreless on YourLiveVent.com.
Great Plains Fireworks and Sports Collectibles, Hillsboro. Fireworks and sports stuff in the same store? That's right. Great Plains Fireworks and Sports Collectibles, Hillsboro. Come in and browse the sports cards and memorabilia and fireworks at the same time. Unopened packs and boxes of sports cards, plus pre-owned cards as well. Jersey swatch, autograph cards, lots of Twins, Vikings, Wolves, Wild, Lynx, and North Stars memorabilia, bobbleheads, caps, and more. Call anytime, 701-436-6140. Great Plains Fireworks and Sports Collectibles, Hillsboro.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neelsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argosville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
Top of the third inning, taking a look at our in-game update brought to you in part by Dakota Heritage Bank. So far, Central Cass, no runs, 3 hits, have yet to commit an error. They've left 4 runners on, 2 in the first, 2 in the second. For the Kindred Vikings, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. They've left 2 runners on, 1 in the first and 1 in the second. Keegan Peterson, 2 innings of work, 1 hit, 5 strikeouts, no walks on 35 5 pitches for Brock Johnson. He has gone 2 innings as well. 3 hits, no runs, no walks, 1 walk, no strikeouts on 37 pitches. That's an in-game update brought to you in part by Dakota Heritage Bank. Go to dhb.bank. For the Central Cass Squirrels, it'll be 2, 3, and 4 batters due up here in the top of the 3rd inning with Brody Kegley, Ryan Osmondstad, and then Keegan Peterson here against Brock Johnson. So we'll see what the Squirrels can do the second time through the lineup card as it stands. As this will miss outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Calling balls and strikes today, Justin Farkas. Eric Olson makes his way up the 3rd base line. Chris Larson up the 1st base line for our first contest of the day. As this breaking ball missing for a ball, it's 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. As we'll see Brock Johnson with the pitch. 2-0, that's called a strike. It's 2-1. Game that got underway back at 11:04, just a half hour old here. Top of the 3rd inning on YourLiveVent.com from Cummings Field. Chase Miller, Joey Hughes with you here on this Friday morning, welcoming you to the weekend. As this works outside for a ball, now 3-1. Some got a ton of grad parties to go to here coming up over the next couple of weeks. Others might be wedding season before you know it. The 3-1 pitch. That'll be called a strike, 3-2. Maybe you got that family vacation right after the school year gets done and maybe get outside the Red River Valley. Lakes for some other people, getting the lake cabin ready to go. Hasn't really felt like lake season yet, at least with the weather this year. Here's the 3-2 offering. Strike 3 looking, yes. Brody Kegley is retired. He thought it was a walk. Johnson gets his first strikeout of the morning. Now it goes to Ryan Osmondstad. So Osmondstad will come up to the plate with nobody on. And for the 3rd straight inning, Brock Johnson has got the leadoff batter out here for Central Cass. Osmondstad with the fly out to Getty his last time up in left field. As this one works all the way to the backstop, it's 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes on the way. Ryan Osmondstad will dig in here against Brock Johnson. 1-0 pitch, that'll miss, now 2-0. Also this summer, looking forward to work both with the Kindred Legion and the youth baseball programs with Josh Almaris and company in terms of providing Legion Babe Ruth coverage for Kindred home games this year from the Kindred perspective, as we've done the last couple of summers. 2-0 pitch. It'll be called a strike. It's 2-1. Also with Castleton Baseball. Looking forward to working with them in the same perspective with Brent Everson and company, providing coverage to their Legion and Babe Ruth programs here this summer on YourLiveEvent.com. There's a swing and a miss. It's 2-2, as we'll have all the home games scheduled here in the month of June and the month of July for Babe Ruth to Legion right here on YourLiveEvent.com. So check out our website in the few next weeks as we'll have the complete schedules making their way through here for summer baseball. As this one misses, it's 3-2. Not sure a lot is better sometimes on a nice 70, 75 summer day, whether you go to a local ballpark, maybe a Newman Outdoor Field, Target Field, and just enjoy a day outside, some seeds, a hot dog, and a cold maybe Diet Coke, Pepsi, whichever your flavor. There's a swing and a miss. Brock Johnson with the strikeout, back-to-back Ks, and there's 2 down. Well, Central Cass has worked the count full. That's the good news here against Brock, getting that pitch limit up, but bad news, a couple of strikeouts. You get 120 pitches max in one particular day, and we'll see how far both Brock Johnson and alongside Keegan Peterson can go here for both these two teams, as right now both are starting to get into a little bit of a rhythm as it's pitcher-pitcher here against Peterson. High hopper, that'll go to the 3rd baseman. Fisher Johnson cuts it off in time. Bernier with the stretch, and that'll retire the side. 5-3 on the putout in the first 3 up, 3 down inning for Johnson on the hill. We played 2.5 today on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. We're scoreless as we head to the bottom of the 3rd.
At Abra Auto Body and Glass in Grand Forks, they make sure your vehicle gets the best standard of care to get it back on the road as quickly as possible. Lonnie and his team are some of the most highly trained in the industry. With state-of-the-art technology and superior products, your vehicle will leave in great condition. With their drive-in claims area, the process is smooth and easy. Let Abra Auto Body and Glass in Grand Forks provide you and your vehicle with premium care and attention. Open 8 to 5:30 Monday through Friday. Abra Auto Body and Glass of Grand Forks.
This is Chris from Agassiz Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer. Say thank you to the farmers you come into contact with every day. They have chosen a career that is as much their deep passion as it is an absolute necessity for you and I. Spring is upon us and there will be farm equipment on the roads. Give them your patience and room to do their jobs. Trust me, they would rather be off the road working in their field than dealing with traffic. From all of us here at Agassiz Precision Ag, we say thank you and have a safe spring.
Chase Miller, Joey Hughes, thank you so much for tuning in to the Region 1 Baseball Semifinals, and we'll continue to have coverage a little bit later on today here on YourLiveEvent.com, as it'll be the Kindred Vikings 9-1-2 batters with Brock Johnson, Brady Baumgarten, the center fielder, and then Jackson Schliemann due up here. If you're enjoying our broadcast, give us a like on this link. You can subscribe as well to Your Live Event on our YouTube channel and check out the complete social channels for Your Live Event on X or Twitter. I'm more of the Twitter generation, and there is going to be a generation that only knows it as X going forward. So that's going to be a little unique once you get to that point. But Twitter, X, social media, YourLiveEvent.com. Thanks again for tuning in, and make sure you patronize our sponsors as well. Otherwise, we would not be able to provide you these baseball games. Brock Johnson will step into the plate against Keegan Peterson. He'll take outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Question is, who's going to score? Someone's going to score today. Just a matter of who scores first, and will that maybe be enough? 1-0 pitch. That'll work outside for a ball. Now 2-0 as the wind continues to gust and whip through. But talking with the Kindred coaching staff in particular, from what they dealt with yesterday in warm-ups to today in warm-ups, wasn't even comparable. It was almost like a breeze compared to the wind and the gusts, where a couple of times yesterday you're just playing the outfield and the hat comes off. You need to call time to go get your lid. As Brock Johnson trying to see if he can get a board here for the first walk against Peterson. And that'll run inside, but that'll be called a strike. Gets 3-1. Keegan Peterson so far 5 strikeouts, a line drive out to Carson Getty, then a fly out to Christensen in center has been the lineup card so far for the Kindred Vikings. That's a work outside. It's a 5-pitch walk, and the first time through the lineup card for Keegan Peterson, 2 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts as we go to Brady Baumgarten, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout back in the first inning. For the Vikings, this is their first leadoff batter aboard here in an inning. So for Scott Milbrandt in a game that's nearing the midway point, and we're going to have a balk. I was just going to say, how do you use the situation? Well, here's a free 90 feet. As we're going to get called for a balk, so Brock Johnson will go to second base. Dustin Maggio is going to come over and talk it with our umpiring crew here again of Chris Larson, Eric Olson, and Justin Farkas. And Eric Olson going to explain the situation here to Dustin Maggio. I think Dustin might have been saying maybe where Eric was, did he have the ball in his glove and was he already set on the rubber, or maybe was the foot off the rubber, and that's where the balk maybe came through. So they're going to talk it over in a situation like this in a semifinal where, again, you win, you're in the championship. You lose, you can still come back in a tight ball game. Glad the umpire's going to talk it over from a Coach Maggio perspective. You can understand why, where you don't want to give the runner an extra at 90 feet or not. They're going to say, nope, the call is made. It will be a balk, so Brock will take second base. And now for Scott Milbrandt, do you even maybe put the bunt on a little bit more, right? Try to get a runner to third base with 1 out, instead of just put a runner into second. But we'll see if you manufacture a run here for Kindred, or you just let him hit away here with Brady Baumgarten. Now for Keegan Peterson, he's got 2 strikeouts in the first, struck out the sign in the second. That's what he's going to be looking to do here. Kindred, for the third time, will have a runner in scoring position. They had one stranded in the first and the second at second base, as this Plinko's around and eventually will go all the way to the backstop. As looking to bunt was Baumgarten. He took the bunt back just a little bit, and then it went off the glove of Lewis. So a walk, a balk, and a wild pitch has allowed Brock Johnson to make his way to third base with nobody out here for the Kindred Vikings. And they're going to say he did offer at it, so it will be a strike for Brady Baumgarten. So that's the good news for a Central Cast. The bad news is all of a sudden the Vikings are knocking on the door here with the runner at third with Brock Johnson, as the infield will come in as this one works upside for a ball. It's 1-1. Corner infielders are in. The second baseman, Kegley, nearly on the grass, and then Everson playing about midway between the infield and the outfield grass. As this will come in, and that will hit him right on the helmet. You could hear it from up here. It either hit the helmet or the bat, but that was more of a helmet sound. So Baumgartner will take the hit by pitch. Now you got runners at the corners. This is the one thing, both from a Central Cass and a Kindred perspective, when they're at the plate and they can get 2-3 guys up in consecutive order, just as anybody can. But with these two teams, they make you pay when you get 2-3 guys up on the base pass in consecutive order. It feels like more times than not. So Johnson over at third, Baumgartner at first. This is the best scoring opportunity for Kindred so far here this morning. Bottom of the third inning from Cummings Field. Peterson from the stretch. Runner breaks from first base, looking for a little squeeze or a safety squeeze. As taking the bump back is going to be Jackson Schliemann. So Brady Baumgartner will take second base, and now we'll have runners at second and third with nobody out, with a 1-0 pitch to Schliemann, who had a single his last time up the middle. Schliemann will see this, miss for a ball. Now 2-0 with Fisher Johnson due up next. Schliemann would like to do what he did in the first, hit it right back up the middle. If he could do that, 1, if not 2 runs would be coming in for the Vikings. Peterson sees this, good spot for a strike. It's 2-1. Keegan Peterson takes a look back at the runner at third base. 2-1. That'll be called a strike, outer part of the plate. Able to nip the corner, now 2-2. Peterson looking for another strikeout here. That'll be awfully large before you got Johnson and Getty coming up here for the Vikings. 2-2. Fly ball hit down the air to left. That's going to be slicing away from the left fielder and eventually be a foul ball. Ryan Osmondstad gave it a little bit of a chase. And that will go foul, and it'll be just a strike at 2-2. So far for the Vikings, a walk by Johnson, Bach, and then able to get to third base. Baumgartner with the hit by pitch, and then able to take second base pretty much on a defensive indifference to where it stands right now here for the Vikings. Runners at second and third. This will be hit right back up the middle like we talked about. Oh, what a diving play by Christensen. Christensen trying to double up the man at second. It one-hopped the second baseman. They would have easily had 2 as Baumgartner was halfway to third base, but Lucas Christensen with a sensational play in center field robs a base hit, robs a run here for Kindred, and it's still a goose egg up on the board here for the Kindred Vikings. But what a defensive play and a line drive made by Christensen. And if you're Kindred, you're fortunate it wasn't a double play, because Baumgartner again was well off the bag at second, and the lead runner in Brock Johnson, because of where it was hit, had to stay pat at third base. And now it goes to Fisher Johnson, looking to see if he can possibly put the baseball in the outfield somewhere. 2 really good plays so far here today by the outfielders of Ryan Osmondstad and Christensen on diving plays, as this one works outside for a ball. And for Christensen, he just maybe hurried the throw a little bit, trying to get Baumgartner out, so it took a hop, and the hop went over the second baseman. The 2-0 pitch to Johnson. That'll work inside for a ball. It's now 3-0. With Keegan Peterson having a free base with Fisher here, you don't necessarily want to give him something too juicy to hit here on a 3-0 and let him swing. He does throw a strike. It's 3-1. Now back in the at-bat here for Keegan Peterson. Tell you what, the Web Gems have been out early in this game. Flashing the leather a little bit here for the Squirrels defense. 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, 3-2. Now one more strike for Peterson here, and all of a sudden now you got 2 down. The bottom of the third. Trying to come back from a 3-0 count. Got one on the outside and the inside part of the plate. Where does he go here? The payoff pitch. That'll work in and hit him. So Fisher will take first base regardless. So a walk, a hit by pitch, and a hit by pitch has loaded the bases, but not in that consecutive order with the Bach. Wow pitch. Get a stolen base. Now it's to Carson Getty. Getty, line drive out to Ryan Osmondstad his last time up back in inning number 3. Back in inning number 1. Second at bat here. Nowhere to put him. Infield will continue to stay in for Central Cass. 5th batter of the inning as Peterson sees this. That'll work up for a ball. It's 1-0. Every pitch kind of has that feeling if you're a MLB fan of October, right? You're kind of hanging on every pitch right now. The 1-0. This will miss for a ball. It's 2-0. understand the situation. This doesn't necessarily win you the region championship, but it puts you in the driver's seat with the win here today. 2-0 pitch at the knee, call the strike. It's 2-1. When the Squirrels come up to the plate, you'll see Kozowski, Lewis, and Bryce Mueller, 5, 6, and 7 batters. It's just a matter of, is it still scoreless, or will Kindred be having a lead? 2-1, good breaking ball. Now 2-2. After running a fastball middle in, ran the breaking ball across. Where does he go here? 2 balls, 2 strikes to Getty. Base is full of Vikings. Johnson at third, Baumgarten at second, and Schliemann lined out, and Fisher Johnson at first. Another breaking ball. Back-to-back breaking balls, and Peterson with his 6th strikeout, and there's 2 down. Oh, what an at-bat there for Keegan Peterson to get out of a dangerous batter with Getty. Now it goes to Eli Mack. Mack was the one that provided the goods yesterday here against Sargent County with the first 2 runs driven in of the game in their 4-1 win. As this will be smothered by Lewis, it's 1-0. All of a sudden now for Central Cass, you're 1 pitch away from getting out of the frame without giving up any runs. As Peterson works from the stretch. As this one will be just off the plate now, 2-0. As Mack with a strikeout his last time up in inning number 2. 5th batter here for Scott Milbrandt and the Kindred Vikings in the lineup today. 2-1 pitch. Mack gave it a good swing. It's 2-1. Wind's starting to pick up a little bit from where we were earlier in the morning. It's going to be gusts to around the 30 miles per hour mark here again today in Oaks. As we make our way through, we're going to be up in the mid-70s to upper 70s as this one nearly hit him. It's 3-1. Mack does get hit by a pitch, or he takes just one more ball outside. It will be a walk, and the bases would be full. And a run will come in. But Peterson looking for a strike. 3-1, that'll work outside. It's a 5-pitch walk. Mack gets the run driven in. Johnson will come in to score. Baumgarten goes to third base, and you'll see Fisher Johnson over at second. As it's now Graham Hess to the plate. So the Vikings score the first run on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard, but quite truthfully, they're looking for more than a run right now where you had the bases loaded here with just 1 out. Peterson, breaking ball, delivers a strike. It's 0-1. It's been the small ball variety for the Vikings to do this, scoring a run without getting a hit. A walk, a hit by pitch, and a walk to plate a run across. As this one works outside, and for the Central Cass Squirrels, in terms of their pitching staff, they came in with just 4 walks and 18 strikeouts in 2 games here in the region tournament. This is a line drive hit in the air, but foul, slicing down the right field side and going towards that Kindred Vikings bus. As I'll be foul, it's now 0-2. So Keegan looking for one more strike to put the bats back up to the plate. Well, for Graham Hess, looking to see if he can put one out in the outfield here for the Vikings. This goes all the way to the backstop, gets by Lewis. Coming in is going to be Baumgarten. He will come in and score standing up, and the Kindred Vikings take a 2-0 lead. So Fisher Johnson will go to third base. Mack will take second, and on the wild pitch, able to see the Vikings put up another run. It's 2-0 Kindred. Peterson sees this a high chopper that's going to make its way to Everson. Everson can't make the play, and a run will come in. Just on the hop, Everson unable to glove it. Coming in to score will be Fisher Johnson. Mack will take third base on the air. Graham Hess will take first. And the Vikings haven't put a ball in the outfield here in this inning outside of 1 out, but they still have put up 3 runs across as they lead it 3-0 now here on YourLiveEvent.com. So Hess will take his leave off of first. The same here with Mack will go and be at second base. So Johnson scores here for the Vikings. As this would be popped up in the air. Having to play this one as the pitcher with the wind and can't make the play here is Peterson as that'll pop in. So with the wind starting to blow, that one just kind of came off and started tailing as you took a look at it in the infield. And just unfortunate there for Central Cass, just couldn't go make a play, and now Gabe Iverson gets aboard. Bases full for the Vikings to Jeremy Knight, and if you get one hit in the outfield here, Kindred could try to get 4 or 5, maybe even 6 runs up on the board. As Knight will take a strike, it's 0-1. Knight batter to the plate here in the inning for the Kindred Vikings. So Iverson gets aboard with a base hit. Knight will hit one up the left field line, foul. If you're Kindred, knowing that Central Cass can put up a multitude of runs in their own right in an inning, is 3 runs enough? But Keegan Peterson right now, that pitch count is starting to climb. He's thrown 71 pitches coming into the inning. He had 35, so 36 pitches so far here in the 3rd inning for Keegan Peterson. And just 2 hits for the Kindred Vikings, 1 in the 1st and 1 here in the 2nd as well. So Mack at 3rd. You have Graham Hess over at 2nd base. As this one missing for a ball, it's 1-1. The Vikings have seen Central Cass bobble it around a little bit here and commit 2 errors total in the game. And sometimes in contests like this, it's the self-inflicting wounds that could come back and cost you. 1-1 pitch. 1-2 pitch, went through the zone. Yes, he did, and Jeremy Knight is retired with a strikeout. But not before the Kindred Vikings put up 3 runs on 1 hit. There was an error, and the bases were left full here as we make our way to the top of the 4th inning with a new score. Kindred up by 3.
Farming today doesn't always feel the same way it used to. Then again, some of it feels all the same. Maybe it isn't so much the jobs that changed, but how they get done. Now that's a different story. Everything got bigger and smaller at the same time. Insurance, accounting, and taxes can get complicated, so you need someone who's looking to keep every dollar possible in your pocket. Ag Country.
Treat yourself to a great career at American Crystal Sugar Company. Team up with quality people making quality products. Full-time and year-round in a stable business. With great pay and benefits including time off available from day one. American Crystal Sugar Company invests in you to promote your continued growth and career advancement. Grow your career, doing your best work within the world's best beet sugar company. Apply online today at AmericanCrystalCareers.com.
High school baseball today here on YourLiveEvent.com. It's the Kindred Vikings 3, the Central Cass Squirrels scoreless. Again, the Kindred Vikings put up 3 runs across on just 1 hit. There was an error, and they left 3 runners up on base, and also they took that pitch count to Peterson now to +70 through 3 innings, and the Vikings put up a 3 spot here in the bottom of the 3rd as we make our way top of the 4th for Brock Johnson as he'll go up against Kozowski, Grayson Lewis, and Bryce Mueller here. Central Cass threatened in the 1st and the 2nd with runners in scoring position. They've left 3 of their 4 base runners in scoring position today, and then Brock Johnson with a 1-2-3 3rd inning with a pair of strikeouts as well as we work our way to the noon hour here in a game that's getting closer to about an hour old here from Cummings Field. Carver Kozowski flew out to Baumgarten. He gave it a little bit of a ride his last time up, and that was just after that one just over the second base on a little pop-up as it'll miss outside for a ball. It's 1-0. 1-0 on the way here to Carver Kozowski. As this will work inside in the dirt now, 2-0. As Brock Johnson on the mound. We're going to see if he can get another batter out for the leadoff side for Central Cass. Kozowski hits one on the ground. This will be a 2-hopper to Iverson. Iverson throws it across the diamond. Looks to be in time for the out. It is 6-3 on the putout, and there's 1 down. So 1 down here in the top of the 4th inning as Grayson Lewis will dig in now. As Lewis 0 for 1 today as he grounded back out to the pitcher his last time up. And for this Central Cass club, looking to see if they can take a run back here on YourLiveEvent.com. As the wind continues to gust and howl, as now it's getting to be to a little bit more similar spot with the wind as maybe it was yesterday at a particular juncture during that Kindred game against Sargent County. Here's the 0-1. I'll miss for a ball. It's 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike here to the senior catcher as Lewis trying to get on board here for Central Cass. 1-1 pitch, good rip at that for Lewis. It's 1-2. As for Brock Johnson, he will see this on the way with the 1-2 offering. Be hit on the ground. Schlieman's going to have to make a tough play, but he gets to it quickly, able to allow Bernier set at first. It's 4-3 on the putout. Good job by Schliemann playing behind that baseball a little bit after that got hit by Lewis. Maybe had a chance to scamper into right field. Instead, Schliemann cuts it off, and there's a ground out. And all of a sudden, you look up here from a Kindred perspective. Brock Johnson has 6 consecutive batters that he's retired. 3 in a row on a ground out, 2 strikeouts, and 1 flyout. Now it goes to Bryce Mueller, who grounded out to Schliemann at second base his last time up. As Johnson missing up and in, it's 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes. Here to Bryce Mueller. Foul tipped into the glove of Hess. It's 1-1. Getty in left field with Baumgarten in center. You got Jeremy Knight in right here for the Kindred Vikings. The 1-1. That'll miss for a ball now. 2-1. Fisher Johnson at third base. Iverson at short. Schliemann at second with Max Bernier at first and Hess behind the plate. Here's the 2-1. Going to be chopped foul, and we'll keep it at 2 balls and 2 strikes. For Brock Johnson, looking for his second 3-up, 3-down inning. For Central Cass, looking to see if they can get the bats going and maybe just a little bit of a shot in the arm right now here for the Squirrels on top of that. Also work outside for a ball. It's 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here to the number 7 batter in the Squirrels lineup in Bryce Mueller. 3-2 pitch. That'll earn a walk. Bryce will get aboard with a 2-out walk. That's a free pass on the first base runner since the second inning, where a 2-out single by Lucas Christensen was a base hit. Now for the Squirrels, they'll bring up Grady Mueller, who earned a walk after a 5-pitch at-bat for Grady. That's Brock Johnson. Sees this. Almost outside for a ball. It's 1-0. 5 batters in the first inning for the Squirrels. Same in the second. 3 up, 3 down third, and this will be batter number 4 here of the 4th. As Bryce Mueller takes his leave off of first, being held on by Bernier. There's a line drive hit that goes to right. Going to get by Knight. Yes, it does. It'll go to second is Bryce Mueller. Mueller's going to be waved on in, or is he going to be held? He's going to be held at the last minute as Knight able to get that ball in quickly to Schliemann. Good swing, though, for Grady Mueller. Opposite field double on the way. Bryce Mueller will go from first to third. After it got by Knight, he was able to play it quickly to Schliemann and the Central Cass Squirrels as they were in the first and the second, threatening now in the 4th with Lucas Christensen with a single his last time up. Number 9 batter here in the lineup, Christensen with a single. Able to get the first extra base hit of the game here for Grady Mueller from the Central Cass perspective with that base knock. There's a swing and a miss by Christensen. It's 0-1. Then you got Jack Everson due up next. Runner at second is Grady Mueller. Bryce Mueller over at third. As Brock Johnson looking to work out of a little jam here in inning number 4. This will work outside for a ball. It's 1-1. For the Vikings, they will see 9-1 and 2 batters with Brock Johnson due up in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Here's the 1-1. That'll be swing and a miss. It's 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes on the way as Brock Johnson looking for that strikeout. The 1-2 pitch going to be smothered by Hess. It's now 2-2. Good job by Hess behind the plate, not allowing that one to get up the first baseline and maybe enticing Bryce to scamper into home plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Johnson. 2-2 pitch, strike 3, looking Johnson with the punch out, his 3rd of the contest, and the Squirrels have left 6 batters aboard. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 2 runners left. We played 3.5 today on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. Kindred up by 3.
At Bank North, we strive to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. One transaction, one relationship, and one community at a time. We do it by supporting kids and schools, pitching in to help neighbors in need, partnering with rural businesses, and providing all the traditional and modern banking products and personalized lending services you expect from a reliable financial partner. Bank North. Always true.
There's a new inventory of trailers at Bloomfield Enterprises of Hillsborough. You can see the latest inventory online at bloomfieldtrailers.com. Bloomfield Enterprises has a full line of Big Tex trailers. Big Tex has affordable and versatile utility trailers for all your jobs. Big Tex has a full line of products from ATV trailers to gooseneck to dump trailers and more. Call Larry at 218-368-7989 or Tim at 701-430-0877. Bloomfield Enterprises in Hillsborough.
Taking a look here on YourLiveVent.com in terms of the pitch count for both of these two teams and where they're currently at for Brock Johnson. 4 innings of work so far on the bump, 4 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, no runs across so far here for Brock and what he's been able to do. And he has thrown now 70 pitches, as this is going to be called a strike for Keegan Peterson to open up the bottom half. Peterson has thrown 74 pitches, 3 innings, 2 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, a couple of walks, and 7 strikeouts. As Peterson able to get another one in there for a strike. That's going to be 0-2, make that 4 walks on the way here. As Brock Johnson with a walk and a run scored. This time hits one on the ground. Everson's going to play it. Jack throws it across the diamond. Is it in time? Yes, in time, as Johnson is retired. 6-3 on the putout, and there's one down here in the bottom of the 4th inning. As it goes now to Brady Baumgarten. Hit by pitch with a stolen base and a run scored back in inning number 3. Part of that 3-run third where the Kindred didn't really do too much in terms of putting the ball in play, but ran the base as well, got a couple of walks, and sometimes it's the small ball variety that can win you a baseball game. Even though now we're all into analytics, home runs, doubles, especially once you get up to that professional standpoint. Maybe don't see too many teams just bunt after bunt after bunt. Tampa Bay did it to Washington earlier this year, and everybody had a field day. They had 3 bunts in 1 inning. And same thing with they did it to the Milwaukee Brewers earlier in the season as this one goes foul. Not to say you can't do it, but listening to the captain was a Derek Jeter documentary. They talked to him about bunting against Kurt Schilling when he had that bloody sock against Boston. As this one has popped up, we'll see if the wind plays this a little as Keegan Peterson kind of tiptoes through the tulips there up the first base side. As there'll be a pop out and Baumgarten is retired. But going back through, Derek Jeter even said on the documentary, you know what, against Schilling, if we thought that was going to be something that we could exploit, we would. But truthfully, the guys in our lineup probably weren't going to bunt the baseball. Like, they were looking for home runs. They were looking for gappers. They were looking for singles. They weren't looking to hit one, 30, 40 feet and bunt it and run up the line. So if you're not going to practice it, you're not going to put it in the game, as this is going to be called a strike to Schliemann. Schliemann with a single in the first. A line drive out was robbed of a base hit by Christensen in the 3rd inning. As we see the pitch on the way, as this one missing, now 2-1. So for Schliemann, hit the ball hard twice so far against Keegan Peterson. As once we get to the top of the 5th, this game starts to shrink a little bit more here with high school baseball. Again, 7 innings unless it's a run rule. Then you play that through 6 and or 5 if you win by 10 or more, which we've seen the run rule come into play a couple of times here in the Region 1 baseball tournament. That'll be called a strike on the outside part of the plate. So Peterson looking for a strike. Schliemann at least looking for a ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes on the payoff pitch here for Keegan. Foul tipped, and this one will get by Lewis behind the plate. You win this game, just got to win one more to get to state. You lose, your season's not over, just the hill becomes a little bit more higher and tougher to try to climb, as you have to win then against a loser out game on Monday at 4 o'clock against either Oak Grove, Oaks, Sargent County, or Northern Cass, and then you would have to beat, as an example, if this score holds, Central Cass would have to beat Kindred then twice on Monday and Tuesday. If this score holds, or flip it on the opposite side if the Squirrels come back, as Schliemann hits a fly ball deep to center, got a little carry to it, and that will get over Christensen, making his way to second base, and eventually that ball's gone. It's a home run, or is it a one-hopper? The Kindred Viking bench was expecting this one to be gone, and right in front of us, able to see that as it kind of went right in front of us here, and taking a look out with where we stand and sit in the center field press box. And it's tough to truthfully see where it went gone or not. Thought it was just off the bat with where we saw it more being a double variety, and the Viking bench saw it eventually hop over and maybe through the chain link fence, and they thought it was a home run, but it's going to be a double for Schliemann. As Schliemann gets an extra base hit here for the Kindred Vikings with a line drive shot over Christensen. As this one works outside for a ball, it's 1-0. Fisher Johnson was hit by a pitch, came in to score back in the third. Is 0 for 1 today at the plate. Here's the 1-0. I'll miss for a ball now, 2-0. On the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard, sharing their heritage and their future. It's 3-0 Vikings. Kindred threatening here in the fourth. As Keegan Peterson sees this one, a towering pop-up here for Fisher Johnson. Jack Everson will glove it, and that'll retire this side. No runs on a hit, no errors, and a runner left after the pop-up there by Fisher Johnson. We played 4 today. It's 3-love in favor of Kindred.
Growers, prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions today and beyond with the Drain Tile Project from Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yield and land values for years to come. Chad's Excavating provides free detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated. KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Top of the fifth inning, we're broadcasting today from the Farmers Union Insurance David Bergman Agency broadcast booth. From home to life to business, farm, and more, call 701-724-6252. That's 701-724-6252, servicing both the Foreman Oaks and surrounding communities. That's David Bergman Agency with Farmers Union Insurance. Not all products are underwritten by Farmers Union Insurance. From Cummings Field today here in Oaks, North Dakota, day 2 in Oaks of the Region 1 baseball tournament. As we go through to the Central Cass Squirrels, suddenly start looking up, and this could be the final time like an Everson could be potentially at the plate, as it's down to their final 9 outs. It's back to the top of the lineup, third time through against Brock Johnson. Everson sees this one running up. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jack with a ground out in the first and a fly out in the second, both on 1 pitch. As Brock Johnson sees the 1-1, and Everson fouls this one over the press box up the third base dugout, as this will be now 1-2. Coming up on our post-game show, we'll get to our player of the game, final box score before we bid adieu and get ready for the Oak Grove Grovers and the Oaks Tornadoes in our first of 3 elimination contests a little bit later on here today on yourliveevent.com. 2-1 offering here to Everson. Be skied, a pop-up. Max Bernier, Schliemann, who's going to call for it. Schliemann eventually calls it as Bernier gives way, so Everson is retired. And it's now to Brody Kegley. So 1 down here in the 5th inning to Brody Kegley. Kegley with a single, then a strikeout his last time up looking in inning number 3. Central Cass looking to do what they did against Oaks yesterday, which is put up 6 runs in the 6th inning or 3 runs in the 3rd. They're looking to have something similar here with how this one is brewing, as that works outside for a ball. And so far, if you're just joining us, the difference in this particular game has been 3 runs in the 3rd by Kindred. That's where all the scoring came through on just 1 hit. The 1-0 fouled back. It's now 1-1. A little bit later on today, we'll see Northern Cass and Sargent County as well. Lisbon, Enderlin have officially been retired here from the Region 1 baseball tournament in terms of the teams that have made their way through. And also with them as the Gus continue to step up a little bit more. The Ball Stars, as well, are the 3 teams that officially have been eliminated today or coming into today of the Region 1 baseball tournament. Kegley sees this one called for a strike. As we work this here to a 2-ball, 2-strike count to the junior second baseman. Kegley 1 of 2 today. Kegley hits this one. That'll go foul. And we'll keep it now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Region 1 baseball tournament here from Cummings Field, where I think for the farmers and those around saying the wing can just take a chill pill for a little while. This is a swing and a miss. Kegley is retired, and Johnson gets his 4th. On the mound for Brock Johnson. Why he's been able to pitch today could be a potential Enbridge Energy player of the game kind of a performance that stands right now. 4 2/3 innings, 4 strikeouts. Giving up a couple of walks and 4 hits today, but he has been awfully good since that second inning. As now Ryan Osmondstad sees one up the third base side. That will go foul. Ryan 0 for 2 with the flyout and a strikeout back in the first and the third inning here for the Squirrels. As Johnson sees this call the strike, gets 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes here to Ryan Osmondstad, and the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Johnson gets the strikeout, his 5th, and his second 3-up, 3-down inning. As he has retired the last 4 batters. We played 4.5 today on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. It's 3-0 in favor of Kindred.
Sharing our heritage, sharing our future. Choosing the right bank for your financial needs can be challenging with the many choices available. Dakota Heritage Bank is pleased you're interested in knowing more about what they can do for you. The Dakota Heritage Bank community bank setting is a strong advantage they have over larger, less personal banks. Customers are more than account numbers. They are friends and neighbors. Working together, Dakota Heritage Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
High school baseball here today from Oaks as we take a look at our bracket breakdown with games still to happen here a little bit later on today. Our next contest scheduled for a 1 o'clock first pitch with Oak Grove and Oaks between the Grovers and the Tornadoes in an elimination game. Northern Cass Sargent County at 4 o'clock in another elimination, and the winner of those 2 games will play at 6 o'clock in our final elimination contest of the day. Winner of this game plays at 6 o'clock on Monday, and the championship loser has an elimination game at 4 o'clock to try to get to the championship on Monday. That's a bracket breakdown brought to you in part by Bank North. Go to banknorth.bank. That's banknorth.bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. As Carson Getty hits this one down the left field line, it will be a foul ball, but getting there is Ryan Osmondstad for the out. So Getty flies out to open up the bottom of the 5th inning. Christensen in center with Boer in right field. You have Bryce Mueller over at first base, Kegley at second, Emerson at shortstop with Kozowski at third, Lewis behind the plate, and Keegan Peterson continues to pitch here for the Central Cass Squirrels as that'll be called a strike. It's 0-1. As the 0-1 pitch on the way to Eli Mack. Mack takes a good cut at it. It's now 0-2. Mack 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout today. He was stranded at third base back in the third, but Kindred put 3 runs across so far, and that has been the difference as stands right now. Here's the 0-2. That'll miss for a ball. It's 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes here to the sophomore designated hitter. Good breaking ball. Better take by Mack as that one was kind of hanging on the table, if you will, before it broke off. Especially with a 1-2 count to not chase a particular curveball. 2-2 going to be hit. A little 2-hopper that goes to Kegley. Makes the play 4-3 on the putout. And there's 2 down here in the 5th inning as Peterson has retired now 5 of the last 6 batters that he has seen on the bump. As it goes to Graham Hess. Hess able to reach base on an error back in the 3rd inning. 0 for 2 today at the plate with a fly out to Christensen in the second. Peterson, first pitch swinging, hits one up the third baseline. That goes foul. It's going to be 0-1. No balls and 1 strike here for Graham Hess with Peterson on the mound. This one will miss for a ball. It's 1-1. One ball and 1 strike as it goes to Keegan Peterson, trying to see if he can get the bats back up in the lineup with a tidy 3-up, 3-down inning, as here's going to be a pop fly. And eventually, Bryce Mueller will play the wind and able to make it a nice 1-2-3 inning here for the Kindred Vikings at the plate. And for Keegan Peterson, that's his first 1-2-3 of the contest. We played 5 today. It's still 3-0 in favor of Kindred.
Emery Vistos Implement has been family-owned and operated since 1935. Located in Oaks, North Dakota, they sell CarQuest automotive parts and numerous lines of agriculture parts. Plus, you'll have to stop by and check out their clothing and footwear department, featuring the brands of Brothers in Arms, Howitzer, Ariat, Cinch, and Twisted X Footwear. Emery Vistos Implement everything and anything you need is under one roof. Stop in just south of Oaks on Highway 1 or call 701-742-2167.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting, with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Top of the 6th inning in-game update brought to you in part by Dakota Heritage Bank. Share their heritage and their future with locations in North Dakota and Minnesota. Go to dhb.bank. Taking a look at the in-game update so far in this contest for both the Kindred Vikings and the Central Cass Squirrels. The Vikings right now 3 runs on 3 hits. They have yet to commit an error. They've currently left 6 batters on base, while for the Central Cass Squirrels, no runs, as they have had 4 hits, committed 2 errors. They've left 6 runners aboard, 2 in the first, 2 in the second, and 2 in the fourth. While for Kindred, they've left 1 on in the first and the second, 3 in the third, and 1 run in inning number 4. That's an in-game update brought to you in part by Dakota Heritage Bank. As Brock Johnson continues to wind and deliver. First pitch swinging. This one is going to be hit towards the concession stand and chasing, and it will be out of play. So out of play here to Keegan Peterson. It's 0-1. Take a look at what Brock Johnson has been able to do. 85th pitch so far. Well, on the opposite side, Keegan Peterson, he's thrown exactly 100 pitches here for the Central Cass Squirrels. Again, you get 120 is your limit in a day. Here's the 0-1 pitch on the way from Johnson. I'll run up at the hands. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Still to come, we'll get to our post-game show brought to you in part by Norman County Raceway. Talk with a member of the winning team, final box score, that and more. As this is going to be a jam shot up the first base side foul. It's 1-2. Keegan Peterson with a single eventually came off the game with a courtesy runner, and Thummel was stranded over at second base, and then a ground out his last time up to the third baseman here to Fisher Johnson. That works outside for a ball. It's 2-2. Central Cass and Kindred here in this Region 1 baseball semifinal. The 2-2 pitch, breaking ball in the air. This one hit down the left field line. That's down for a base hit in front of Getty. So it's an opening base knock for Keegan Peterson here to open up the 6th for Central Cass. That's the first leadoff batter that the Squirrels have been able to get on today against Brock Johnson. As Thummel will come on and courtesy run yet again here for Keegan Peterson as it goes to Carver Kozowski. So for Central Cass, they've been able to do some damage before, but the difference was it was with 1 out or 2 outs once they got a guy on base. Now they do it with a leadoff single here for Coach Justin Maggio and the Central Cass Squirrels. Carver Kozowski will dig in now 0 for 2 today with a fly out and a ground out. Kozowski takes a strike. It's 0-1. As Thummel over at first base takes his leave. Max Bernier holding him on. The 0-1. That'll be called the strike. It's 0-2. So Johnson gets ahead on Kozowski, who strike one and strike two. There's the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball, got him out in front. This one going into short center field, and Baumgarten loses the hat but makes the play. Able to call off Schliemann there. There's going to be a fly out to the center fielder for the second time for Kozowski. One down as it goes to Grayson Lewis. For Lewis, 0-2 here on the morning into the afternoon for the duration of this game that got underway just a couple of minutes after the 11 o'clock hour, about an hour 20 here today for this game and counting. Johnson from the stretch one more time. Lewis first pitch swinging, gets one, a good ride into the gap, and this one will get into the gap as Knight's going to have to play it now. Baumgarten will play it. Dig, turn, and staying put there was Thummel. Thummel was ready to go from first to third. He put on the brakes, and fortunate there as it got by Knight, but the center fielder Baumgarten did a really good job back in the play up there to not allow it to get any farther. And just like that, you got runners at first and second. Lewis will get a courtesy run for here as Central Cass will have runners at first and second base. As coming on will be Carter Nelson. So Nelson now will courtesy run for Lewis. And the Central Cass Squirrels don't look now. Tie and run at the plate with Bryce Mueller here in the sixth inning. Brock Johnson. Throw a strike. This one across. It's 0-1. Mueller 0-for-1 today with a walk and a ground out. Grounded out back in the second inning to the second baseman and Schliemann. Central Cass threatening. And they have threatened today against Brock Johnson. Now it's just trying to cross the finish line here, if you will, and put a run or two across. Sometimes it's like hitting a free throw for a shooter, maybe out of rhythm. You see the ball go through the cylinder the first time, good things can happen. That's what the Squirrels are looking to do, at least with a run production. Well, for Brock Johnson, stranded 2 in the first, 2 in the second, and 2 in the fourth. 1 ball, 2 strikes as Brock quickly got the ball back from Hess and is ready to throw yet again here against Bryce Mueller. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and Brock Johnson with the strikeout. That's his 6th on the afternoon, and there's a large second out here in the top of the 6th inning. Now it goes to Grady Mueller, who had a double his last time up. He takes a strike, walked in the second, was stranded at second base in the fourth. This will be hitting the air, and that will die in front of Knight. Knight will play this one in, and going into score. There's the RBI single, opposite field variety for Grady Mueller. He gets the run driven in. Coming into score will be Thummel from second base. Nelson goes first to third. Runners at the corners with 2 down. It's 3-1 now on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard as it goes to Lucas Christensen. So Thummel comes in. You got the tying run at first base here with Mueller. It goes to Lucas Christensen here, and all of a sudden you look up now, the Squirrels, as we said, like a shooter trying to see that one go through the cylinder, finally got the first run of the game late in this one, but they do get a runner aboard, while for Brock Johnson trying to minimize the damage just to 1 run. Johnson sees this one miss outside for a ball. It's 1-0, the Squirrels 6th batter to the plate with the leadoff man and Jack Everson due up next. Still 2 outs. The pitch, swing and a miss. It's 1-1. And for Keegan Peterson, Lewis, and Mueller also will put some good swings to get aboard here and get that to the outfield, as Baumgarten and Knight have been busy here in center and right field respectively. As this one is a swing. It's now 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Johnson looking for his 7th strikeout on the hill. Well, for Lucas Christensen, looking to get on board for the 2nd time today. Did he go through the zone? Yes, he did. He offered. Hess will throw it down to Bernier to retire the side, and Brock Johnson gets his 7th strikeout of the game. Central Casto does play to run on 3 hits. There's no errors and 2 runners left. We played 5.5 on the Dakota Heritage Bank scoreboard. Kindred leads by 2.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. a place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting what's important in life.
Get in touch with David Bergerman today at 701-724-6252.
Great Plains Fireworks and Sports Collectibles, Hillsboro. Fireworks and sports stuff in the same store? That's right. Great Plains Fireworks and Sports Collectibles, Hillsboro. Come in and browse the sports cards and memorabilia and fireworks at the same time. Unopened packs and boxes of sports cards, plus pre-owned cards as well. Jersey, swatch, autograph cards, lots of Twins, Vikings, Wolves, Wild, Lynx, and North Stars memorabilia, bobbleheads, caps, and more. Call anytime, 701-436-6140. Great Plains Fireworks and Sports Collectibles, Hillsboro.
As we head to the bottom of the sixth inning right now for Brock Johnson, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks, 1 run that was earned, 7 hits against 6 innings of work. He's going to have about 15-ish pitches to work with here coming up in the 7th inning. This one's going to be called a strike for Keegan Peterson as it's 7, 8, and 9 batters. Iverson, Knight, and Brock Johnson due up here against Keegan Peterson in the bottom of the 6th inning. Is this one missing though for a ball? It's 1-1. So 1 run across for Central Cass in that inning on 3 hits. They did leave 2 more on base. Here's the 1-1 pitch upcoming for Keegan. Keegan starting to get into a rhythm right now here on the mound for Central Cass. 1-1. This one will miss to the backstop. It's 2-1. Lewis behind the plate here today as we reach the bottom of the hour on YourLiveEvent.com. Our first of 4 games here from Cummings Field. 2-1 missing. It's now 3-1. And you start looking at the pitch count for both of these. Brock Johnson at 103. Again, you get 120 to use. And for Keegan Peterson, this will be his 105th pitch upcoming. That's called a strike. It's 3-2. So for Keegan as well, he only has about 15 more pitches roughly before he has to get pulled. You can go over 120 if you're finishing an at-bat. There's a good play by Everson. It gets by Kozowski, who was in a little bit at third. Everson able to chase that down in a little lazy line drive out. So Iverson is retired. He's 1 of 3 now for the afternoon as it goes to Jeremy Knight. Jeremy Knight 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. As Oaks and Oak Grove ready to partake in the second game of the day next. There's a swing and a miss. It's 0-1. From Central Cass perspective, you're just going, what if in that 3rd inning, 1 less error, if you were able to turn that double play after Christensen laid out in center field to get the runner at second, all of those just small little things that have been a determining factor of a 3-1 lead right now here for the Kindred Vikings. The 0-2 by Peterson, that'll pretty much hop almost right on top of the plate. It's going to be a ball. It's 1-2, and that's where it kind of stands right now in terms of, if you're just joining us, what the difference in this game is, just small little plays in that inning. As this one works for a ball, it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes on the way to the sophomore right fielder. Southeast Track and Field meet tomorrow will be in Kindred. Both the Squirrels and the Vikings will have a host of athletes competing in that. And for some that already have qualified for state, others maybe trying to get into one event that you're trying new this year or your last chance, essentially, to try to qualify for that state meet. 3-2 pitch. Out of work outside for a ball. Knight gets aboard for a walk. And also for Peterson now, he has 112 pitches. So he's got 8 more yet to throw, and then from there he will have to come out of the contest. So if you're Brock Johnson, you have a long at-bat, you'll have to have a new pitcher come in for Peterson. If you're Keegan, you're looking for something on the ground, a chance to turn 2 or try to get a quick out here. Nearly picked off the runner, and Knight at first base being held on by Bryce Mueller. Johnson with a walk and a run scored back in the 3rd, and that was a leadoff walk. As this one gets by Lewis up the first base line, so Knight will scamper into scoring position. It's now 1-0. And it was plays like that in the 3rd inning that you might not think about too much, but the extra 90 feet that you give to a runner can definitely determine an outcome of a game, and that's what we've been able to see so far here in this one. 2 evenly matched teams scoring off with one another. As this one is backhanded by Lewis, it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. the 1-1 here from Peterson. This one will be called a strike. Able to see this 0-1 as that's going to be a 2-1 count, 2 balls, 1 strike here to Brock Johnson as Jeremy Knight stands in scoring position. This one is going to be hit in the air. That's going to go to the left fielder. Osman Stockenkamp underneath this one. A fly out to left, and there's 2 down, and because it did not take too many pitches, Keegan Peterson, this could be his final at-bat, and if it is, he wants to make sure he can get an out here, as he'll have 116 pitches right now going on 117. You get 135 for the whole tournament. You get 120 for just one day. Baumgarten at the plate, as this one's going to get by Lewis yet again, and going from first to third. That will be Jeremy Knight after a couple of wild pitches as he took second. Now he takes third, and Brady Baumgarten will have a hitter's count at 1-0. Brady with a ground out back in the first inning, hit by a pitch where the run scored in the third and then popped out in the fourth. As this going to be blocked by Lewis. Now 2-0. So Keegan Peterson going to fall behind here against Baumgarten. Looking to see if he can get the last out of the inning and get those bats up to the plate to keep it a 2-run deficit. As this works outside for a ball, it's 3-0. That was pitch number 119. So this will be his last official at-bats against a Kindred batter here for Peterson on the mound. And this one will be a walk. The runner will stay put. Lewis will go on and scamper it. Brady Baumgartner will take a walk. He will go to first base. Runners at the corners. And Dustin Maggio with Peterson reaching his pitch count limit at 120 will have to make a pitching change. We'll let you know about it next here in Oaks.
It's safe to say we have it pretty good in the Drayton, North Dakota area. Growing sugar beets, making sugar, bringing a little sweetness to the world. Every day, American Crystal Sugar produces sweet products people love in a place we love to call home. It's a thing we like to call the sweet life, and we're proud to share it with you. American Crystal Sugar's Drayton facility wants you to enjoy the events in the communities of our area. Here's to living the sweet life. American Crystal Sugar, Drayton.
Imagine your life in Hillsborough, a place where neighbors know your name and opportunities are real. Here, you'll find affordable home lots and grants to help you build your future. In Hillsborough, safety, affordability, and community aren't just promises, they're our way of life. With a 24-hour fitness center, a strong school system, a trusted hospital, and a thriving business district, Hillsborough has everything you need to live well. Here, your family is our family, and your future shines bright. Discover Hillsborough, where small-town living means big opportunities.
Hunter Insurance Agency is a locally owned full-service agency providing protection and coverage in a number of different areas. Hunter Insurance Agency offers multi-peril crop insurance, crop hail insurance, and farm insurance for buildings and equipment. Plus, they offer home, auto, life, and business insurance. For more information, go online to hunterinsuranceagency.com or stop in and speak with Johnny Jorgensen at Hunter Insurance Agency. Find them at 201 Main Street, Hunter.
As we're back here on YourLiveEvent.com, runners at the corners for Keegan Peterson. He goes 5 2/3, 3 hits with 3 runs, 6 walks between hit by pitches and walks, and then 7 strikeouts here today as Bryce Mueller will come on, and it'll be a straight switch. So Peterson will go from the hill to first base, and Bryce will go from first base to the mound here in this one, and still trying to keep it to, as it stands now, a 2-run game here for Bryce Mueller. Keegan Peterson with 120 pitches is done for his daily limit. He could still come back since that's his first tournament appearance. He would have 15 pitches to work with, but he needs 2 days of rest, so Saturday and Sunday, and you get into Monday, so he could still pitch one more time here in the Region 1 baseball tournament. Now goes to Schliemann. Schliemann sees this, and running from first to second on the pitch was Brady Baumgartner, so he'll get into scoring position. It'll be 1-0 to Schliemann upcoming here. Jackson's hit the ball hard 3 times, a single, a line drive out to center, and a double as well last time up in the 4th inning. Mueller sees this, swing and a miss. It's now 1-1. Fisher Johnson is up next. If Schliemann can get aboard, well, for Central Cast, they'll have the top third of their lineup due up in the top of the 7th inning. Here's the 1-1. Work outside for a ball. It's 2-1. 2-1 pitch on the way. That'll be up for a ball. It's 3-1. Taking a look again at Brock Johnson. He has 103 pitches, so he'll have 17 to work with before he gets yanked in the top of the 7th inning. 3-1, that'll run in. It's going to be a walk regardless. Schliemann will get aboard for the 3rd time today, and that'll be the first here for Bryce Mueller against as it goes to Fisher Johnson. Bases full, nowhere to put Fisher. Johnson 0 for 2 hit by pitch with a walk back in the 3rd inning. Batter number 6 here of the 6th, and he will shy away from that one as it runs up and in. It's 1-0. Vikings looking for some insurance runs here off the bat of Fisher Johnson. Will gladly take a hit by pitch or a walk as well to get one run across. As Johnson laces one in the air, and that'll be down for a base and in front of Boer. Boer will play this in. They're going to get 1 run, and they're going to get a second. Off and running with 2 outs. Jeremy Knight comes in to score. Brady Baumgartner comes in to score. Fisher Johnson with a 2 RBI single, and the Kindred Vikings get their insurance as they lead at 5-1. Schliemann to second base. Johnson goes to first. Those runs will be charged against Keegan Peterson here, as now for the Vikings, this one will be hit up the first base side foul by Carson Getty. Getty today 0 for 3 with a line drive, a fly out, and a strikeout here this afternoon. Hits one in the air. This will be into short left center field, and playing this one will be Christensen as he gets into the alley. But the Kindred Vikings play 2 in the bottom of the 6th. It's 5-1 Kindred as we head to the top of the 7th.
The Kindred Public School District looks to collaboratively cultivate an environment that challenges learners to reach their full potential in a student-centered, community-supported environment while building authentic relationships that promotes active engagement in learning, literacy, and life. Kindred Public Schools' mission is to educate, prepare, and maximize student potential. Kindred Public School District, student-centered, community-supported. For more info about upcoming school events and news, go online to kindred.k12.us.
Milner Grain understands that agriculture is your livelihood, and we're committed to providing you with the highest quality of services to meet your farming needs. Milner Grain has a passion for our community and the farmers we serve. Milner Grain is locally owned and operated. When you're looking for a partner in the field, look to Milner Grain. Call 701-427-5284 or check out Milner Grain's app with current up-to-date prices. Milner Grain is here to help you and your farm grow.
As we head to the top of the 7th inning, again, Brock Johnson right now looking for the complete game. But that pitch count could potentially be a factor. 103 pitches as it stands right now. For the Kindred Vikings, they were able to get 2 runs across in the bottom of the 6th on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. Those runs were charged to Keegan Peterson after Bryce Mueller had to come in after Keegan reached the pitch count limit at 120. The Vikings 3 runs in the 3rd, 2 runs in the 6th, while Central Cass put up 1 run in the 6th inning. But now the lead is the largest it's been of the day for Kindred at 4. Here as we go to the top of the 7th inning. Good news from a Central Cass perspective. Top of the lineup with Everson, Kegley, and Ryan Osmondstad at the plate. Bad news so far today against Brock. They're 1 of 9 with the lone hit by Kegley back in the 1st inning. Brock Johnson sees this one. Good spot on Everson. It's called a strike. It's 0-1. No balls and a strike to Everson as Johnson sees the 0-1 miss for a ball. It's 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike on the way. This one goes all the way to the backstop. It's now 2-1. For Central Cass, all about getting base runners aboard as it currently stands right now. Can you find a way to bring that tie-in run up to the plate some way, somehow? Here's the 2-1 pitch. That'll work for a ball. Now 3-1. 5th pitch of the at-bat upcoming to Everson. Also for Kindred, where it stands, going to be awfully close for Brock here to try to maybe finish off this game without going to the bullpen. 3-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Now 3-2. Fastball that just kept on rising up. Swing and a miss. Johnson so far has 108 pitches with 65 of them being strikes. 3-2. Going to be hit on the ground. That'll be through for a base hit, and Jack Everson gets aboard with his first hit of the contest for the Central Cass Squirrels. That'll be their 8th hit of the game. First for Jack Everson as Brody Kangley comes up, who's one of 3. Kangley with a single was stranded at third base back in the first inning. And now for Brock, he got about 10 pitches yet to work with here, so we'll see how many more batters he can go through. And for Jack Everson, he took 6 pitches before he got aboard. Kangley, first pitch swinging, hits one high in the air. This one's got a chance to the track, to the wall, and that is gone. A 2-run homer for Kangley. And the Central Cass Squirrels have cut that deficit down to 2. Kangley with his second home run here in Oaks after a grand slam yesterday. Pretty much the exact same spot here for a 2-run homer today. Everson comes in to score. Kangley with his first and second runs driven in of the day. And the Central Cass Squirrels put up 2 runs across, and they still have 3 outs to work with as Coach Scott Milbrandt will come out and take the ball from Brock Johnson. A whale of a pitching game here for Brock, but the Central Cass Squirrels with a couple of big knockers with Everson and Kangley climb aboard here as it's 3, 4, and 5 batters with Osmondstad, Peterson, and Kozowski due up. We'll let you know about the pitching change when we return.
Welcome to the 130th Annual Norman County Fair, June 24th through 27th, Ada, Minnesota. FFA Day. New this year, Jindo Bingo, the Big Air ATV show in the R&J Broadcasting Grandstand. Plus free music, basketball challenge, Check 6 Veterans Day, Youth Day, Senior Day, racing, the Mooncats, lumberjack shows, and so much more. For the full schedule, visit NormanCountyFair.com. Norman County Fair, Ada, Minnesota, June 24th through 27th. It's where summer begins and the fun never ends.
The World of Outlaws late models are coming to Norman County Raceway on June 30th, 2026. Infield seating, your chance to meet your favorite National Touring Series drivers, and much, much more. Tickets are available now at ncraceway.com.
Order yours today, and we'll see you June 30th, 2026.
Today here from Oaks, the Central Cass Squirrels, 2 runners across so far here in the top of the 7th inning. It will be a straight switch with Brock Johnson and Fisher Johnson. Fisher will go from third to home, make that the pitcher's mound, while Brock will go to third base here for Brock Johnson. 6 innings of work, 9 hits, 3 runs, a couple of walks, and 7 strikeouts here on the mound today for Brock Johnson. As it goes now to Ryan Osmondstad. This will be the second appearance for Fisher Johnson. He came in relief and shut the door and picked up a save yesterday against Sargent County, and now looking to do the same here against the Central Cass Squirrels. Ryan Osmondstad is 0 for 3 today with a pair of strikeouts as he fouls this one back. It's 0-1. Fisher used 24 pitches to get the job done in his relief against Sargent County yesterday. It's now 0-2. So how big are those 2 runs earlier now in the bottom half of the 6th here by Kindred? Otherwise, we'd have a tie ball game. As this one works up and in, it's 1-2. As we see this over across the way. As the 1-2 pitch, that'll work outside for a ball. It's 2-2, so Brock will now be out of the game, and Gronwald, will make his way to third base. So Carter Gronwald, the sophomore, will make his way to third base here. As the breaking ball is going to be hit foul over the first base dugout and staying alive is Osmondstad. So for Central Cass, you're looking for a similar spot as it stands. Going to run around and see if he can drive the ball somewhere as it stands. As this one works outside, it's now 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes here to Ryan, the junior left fielder, looking to get aboard and bring that tying run to the plate. And he will. So able to come in as tying run will be coming up here as Osmondstad will take the walk. That'll be his first of the contest to Keegan Peterson now. And Peterson has reached base twice with a pair of singles and a run scored. That was by Aiden Thummel, and the run scored back in the 6th inning. Well, for Central Cass, we said it was going to take some base runners, and so far 3 batters up, 3 batters on, 2 batters in here in the 7th. And Peterson, oh, what a line drive shot. They get one there to Iverson, a chance for two. And Iverson's throw just took Bernier a little bit up the first baseline, and Ryan Osmondstad was nearly picked off for a double play. Instead, it's allowed out number one off the bat by Peterson. Good job by Iverson first and foremost just to get the out, but to have the wherewithal to quickly throw it back to first to try to get Ryan Osmondstad. It goes to Kozowski. Kozowski takes one outside for a ball. A couple of flyouts for Carver and a ground out. 0 for 3 today here for Carver at the plate. Fisher Johnson, 1-0 pitch. That'll miss. It's now 2-0. Let's see this one come through 5-3 on your liveevent.com. This one's going to be smothered by Hess, but then it goes through the 5-hole. This will allow Ryan Osmondstad to get to second base, but you're almost at the point where, yes, you care about Ryan, but really it's the guy at the plate or who's ever at the plate as a tying run is the one that you're really focusing on right now. You can let Osmondstad score, but you need to get the guy at the plate at some point out. 3-0 to Kozowski. Well, now all of a sudden, now you're going to worry about Kozowski being on board. So a single, a two-run homer, a walk, a soft little line drive out, and then another walk has put the Squirrels right back in this game with Grayson Lewis. This one works outside for a ball. As Lewis takes outside as Grayson is 1 of 3 today with a single back in the 6th inning. 6th batter here of the inning for Central Cass. Lewis hits one in the air. That's got a little carry to it to center. Baumgartner will camp underneath it. Lead runners bluffing to tag, and they will stay there. Lewis gave it a good ride, and it's 2 down. Now it goes to the final out with Bryce Mueller. Mueller 0 for 2 today with a walk. Runner at first is Kozowski. Ryan Osmondstad stands at second. Squirrels looking to see if they can tie or possibly take the lead here in the 7th. Bare minimum got a tie, and if you do, Kindred would have Mack, Hess, and Iverson, the 5, 6, and 7 batters due up in the bottom half of the frame. Fisher Johnson looks as this one works for a ball. It's 1-0. Central Cass and Kindred doesn't seem like it matters the sport. You could put these two in a tug of war, and it'd be fun for crying out loud and go right down to the wire. Here's the 1-0. Going to be a high chopper up the third base side foul. It's 1-1. One of the sports that are starting to gain some steam, especially in Minnesota, we'll see what happens in North Dakota. You see it at a club level is lacrosse that has kind of made its way through the last couple of years. The 1-1 pitch, that'll miss for a ball. It's now 2-1. But right now, talking baseball, we'll talk softball, and we'll talk a little track and field tomorrow as well here on your live event. But question is, who's going to punch their ticket, at least be in the championship game no matter what, and have a little bit easier of a weekend to think about it? 2-1 pitch running up. It's 3-1, and if you're Bryce Mueller, you'll gladly take a walk, get that tying run into scoring position, and pass the baton off to Grady, who's on deck. 3 balls and a strike as Johnson looking to find the zone and challenge Bryce Mueller here on the 3-1 pitch. Able to do so, good spot. It's 3-2, and now the Squirrels are down to their final strike. Down by 2, 2 outs with 2 runners on here in the top of the 7th. 3 balls, 2 strikes, the number 7 batter to Mueller. Fisher Johnson with the payoff pitch. Breaking ball, hitting the air, popped up. We'll see if it's in play. The third baseman, Gronwald, in foul territory, and that'll do it. And the Vikings escape the Squirrels here today in Oaks, North Dakota. A pop-out that goes final at 12:52. A game that goes an hour and 48 minutes. It is final. The Kindred Vikings win this one by a final of 5-3 over the Central Cass Squirrels. With this result, taking a look at your bracket, the Kindred Vikings will play in the championship on Monday at 6, while for the Central Cass Squirrels, they will play on Monday at 4 p.m. in an elimination contest. We'll take a break, and we come back. We'll get to our post-game show, brought to you in part by Norman County Raceway. Also from there, we'll hear from the victorious Kindred Vikings and get you set for our elimination games coming up a little bit later on. Again, your final 5-3 in favor of Kindred.
All right. R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is accepting applications for a broadcast sales representative. Applicant should be self-motivated, organized, have ability to communicate clearly, and the desire to help our customer partners grow their business with customer service for their advertising and marketing needs. All experience levels are encouraged to apply. To apply, email your resume to apply@rjbroadcasting.com. R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Take your softball or baseball skills to the next level with personalized instruction from the professional staff at the Ball Yard. Their mission is to provide area players, young and old, the opportunity to improve their skills in a professional level facility and to provide a high level of instruction to youth players to help them achieve their goals at the Ball Yard. Come and visit the one place in the Fargo-Moorhead area where it's always summer. For more information, go online to fmballyard.com. That's fmballyard.com.
What was that? Is that top insurance?
No, I'm pretty sure it's Toop Insurance.
Maybe toupee.
Could be Toupee. Yeah, I don't know.
Or taupe insurance?
Maybe? I don't think so.
Say it right. That's T-O-O-P. That's taupe.
Oh, it's Taupe.
That's Taupe Insurance in Castleton. Get in touch with Ryan today for a quote or review of your policies. Stop on out to Watts Ace Hardware in Castleton and gear up with name brands from Steel, Milwaukee, Ego, and Craftsman Power Tools. Get ahead of your spring planting needs with flowers, shrubs, and trees. Watts Ace Hardware Greenhouse is open now. Watts Ace Hardware, a place you need to check out. Stop in at 1610 Governor's Drive in Castleton for Watts Ace Hardware and check out their greenhouse, which is open right now.
As we come back on our post-game show, the Kindred Vikings able to pick up the win here today over the Central Cass Squirrels, 5-3 on our post-game report, brought to you in part by Norman County Raceway. Let's go to the man with the plan, so to speak. That is Brock Johnson here, able to pick up the win as the Kindred Vikings take it 5-3. Brock, first things first, just what does it mean for this team to get to the championship here coming up on Monday?
I mean, it means a lot to all the guys. We work hard every day, and it's just kind of see all the hard work that pays off towards the end of the year.
You know, small ball variety, you scored 3 runs there in the bottom of the third inning. What was just able to work against Keegan Peterson where you earned some walks, got a couple of hit-by pitches, and did the small ball variety there in that third inning?
Yeah, we knew Keegan Peterson's a very talented pitcher, very good player, and we just kind of knew that he's going to throw a lot of strikes, so just hit it when it's there, and then when it's not there, I mean, keep a good eye and have good at-bats.
For you, Brock, you had to kind of dance through some real estate throughout the course of the game where there were some runners on for Central Cass, but what allowed you through those first 4 or 5 innings to find a way to get a couple of strikeouts or use your defense behind you and, kind of minimize any damage that could have been potentially there early in the game?
Yeah, I know it's easy to panic in those situations, but Coach Ekman does a good job talking to me, calming me down, and really getting me back into that zone where I can really throw a lot of strikes.
Hey, you know what? You're balancing a lot of stuff right now on top of your head.
Yeah.
Just take us through what's this team kind of like a little bit. Having some fun, obviously, in the dugout and even right now in this interview.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, these guys are amazing. All really great personalities, and they all do their part on this team to make sure we have the most fun we can and also compete at a high level and succeed. So. Special guys.
Final thing that I'll ask for you, Brock. Once you saw that home run here by Kegley, what's kind of going through your mind with Fisher coming up when it's all of a sudden now a 2-run game, and just kind of take us through when you saw that final out, what's kind of going through your mind knowing you're going to the championship?
Yeah, I mean, Kegley's a dog. I mean, I always got to respect that guy, and honestly, it kind of sucked ending on that pitch. I kind of wish I kind of stayed in for a couple more pitches, but I know Fisher will get it done. I mean, he's been a dog all year, and he's a good closer, and I trust him 100% with any situation. So,
hey, Brock, congratulations on the win. We'll see you on Monday.
Thank you very much.
Brock Johnson again with us here, part of that balancing act on his head going through that post-game interview, as we'll hear from the head coach, Scott Milbrandt, in a second, as well as they continue to rake the field and get ready for game number 2 here in our first of 3 elimination contests with Oak Grove and the Oak Grove Grovers and the Oaks Tornadoes, as Scott Milbrandt now with the headsets on as he makes his way across here. And Scott, first things first, congratulations congratulations on the win. Anytime we were saying it could be tug of war between Central Cass and Kindred, and it's going to go right down to the final wire. But first thing, Brock Johnson, just what he was able to do, get out of some situations throughout the course of the game. Obviously, Kegley got him late there in the seventh, but still a really good performance. 6 innings of work there for Brock. Just kind of what you see from his performance today here, Scott?
Well, he was dialed in. Central Cass is a good ball club. We know, and you said a mouthful. I don't know if I can hear you.
You got me okay there, Scott?
Yeah, I think I got you.
As you're getting a little bit, I will call it a maintenance chain right now, as they're putting all the catching gear on you here, Scott.
I think I don't have any eligibility left as far as I know, and you wouldn't want me to. So, but Brock pitched a great ball game. It was a great defense behind him as well.
Yeah, let's go through. We talked about in the pregame, right, at times it could be small ball variety, and that's what you did. He manufactured some runs there in the third inning, earned some walks, hit by pitches, took the extra 90 feet. How much do you talk about base running throughout the course of the season and taking what's in front of you as much as you can here and be aggressive on the base pass,
well, that's a very important part of the game, right? Always thinking of what am I doing next? It's too late to react when the ball's hit. That has to be ingrained, and I think the kids do a pretty good job of that. We always have a few times when, fly ball get back, and sometimes they react and run toward home plate, and you don't get that run. That happened early, but we were lucky to get that run in and then get a few more.
Yeah, you go through in this particular situation a couple of times now in Oaks that you use Fisher Johnson to slam the door shut a little bit here. So what do you see from Fisher, able to slam the door shut again here today and get the save?
It's nice to have him in the hind pocket, isn't it? Well, we knew that, we wanted to go with Brock, and we wanted him to finish it, but, sometimes you go with the gut, right? Okay, it's time to make a change, and we're lucky to have guys that can step in and throw strikes and good defense behind to finish it out.
Final thing that I'll ask for you here, as will allow you to get through the catcher's gear and enjoy this one here, Scott, is this. I know the job's not done, but obviously the hill is a little bit less to climb now moving forward, getting to that championship game on Monday at 6. Just what does it mean, first thing, for this team to get to that championship here this season for this group of guys?
It's a great accomplishment for these kids. They've earned it. Again, we're going to enjoy this now. But come Monday, we got to be ready to play because baseball is a funny game. You can't take anybody for granted, and whoever we face at that 6 o'clock game, we'll be ready.
Hey, Scott, congratulations. Enjoy the weekend, and fingers crossed we see you Monday, pending what Mother Nature has in store for us over the weekend.
That sounds great, my friend. Thank you.
And again, Scott Milbrandt, the head coach for the Kindred Vikings, with us here on the post-game show as Kindred wins this one today by a final of 5-3 on the Norman County Raceway post-game report. We go from there to our player of the game, brought to you in part by Enbridge. Go to enbridge.com for career opportunities. And as we talked about, Brock Johnson at the plate, he went 0 for 2 today with a run scored and a walk as well. But Brock also 6 innings of work, 9 hits, 3 runs that were earned, 2 coming late on that Kegley 2-run homer, a couple walks and 7 strikeouts. He is our player of the game, brought to you in part by Enbridge. Go to enbridge.com for career opportunities. Our Halstead Telephone Company post-game connection, a 2-run shot by Brody Kegley that gave Central Cass life and had a chance to come back and win this contest here for the Central Cass Squirrels, and really started opening up the door a little bit where you thought, hey, the Squirrels might come back and tie or possibly take the lead. Halstead Telephone Company post-game connection, the connection of the contest. Go to halsteadtel.com, Kegley's 2-run homer. And you go from there to our Agassi Precision Egg play of the contest. There's a couple of them, but in a similar spot for Fisher Johnson to come on and try to slam the door shut after a 2-run shot by Kegley. Gave up a couple of walks, but still got out of the inning without giving up any runs in his relief appearance. He picks up the save. Fisher Johnson coming on for the save, and the second one here in Oaks in the Region 1 baseball tournament is our Agassi Precision Egg play of the contest. Go to Agassi Precision Egg website at planterdoc.com. That's planterdoc.com. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get to our final bracket breakdown. We'll take a look at the final box score, all ahead of our next contest with Oak Grove and Oaks coming up around the corner. This is the Region 1 baseball tournament on your LiveVet.com.
Site farm repairs to maintaining the condition of your vehicle. Trust the staff at Welton's Tire Service. They've served the Lisbon area since 1972, guaranteeing customer satisfaction and workmanship from farm equipment, tire services, and preventative vehicle maintenance. You'll find it all from affordable prices, free estimates, to their knowledgeable technicians answering any question. Welton's Tire Service is locally owned and located on Main Street in Lisbon. For information, go online to weltonstire.net or call 701-683-5136.
As we come back here on our Norman County Raceway post-game report, Kindred with 5 runs across 4 hits. They had no errors. They left 8 runners on base. For the Central Cass Squirrels, 3 runs, 9 hits. They had an error and they left as well. 10 runners on base here today for the Central Cass Squirrels. Winning pitcher of record is going to be Brock Johnson. Fisher picks up the save. Losing pitcher on record is going to be Keegan Peterson. For the Kindred Vikings at the plate, couple of guys that had themselves a couple of nice games. Schliemann goes 2 for 3 with a walk. You also, from there, saw Fisher Johnson with 2 runs driven in on a base hit late in the 6th, which really was the separating game, which was the insurance that they needed after Kegley hit a 2-run homer in the 7th. Fisher Johnson again able to get 2 runs driven in. Also, Eli Mack with a run driven in on a bases loaded walk earlier here in the contest. Well, for the Central Cass Squirrels, Kegley goes 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs here today, and then Mueller at the bottom of the lineup with a couple of hits gets a run driven in as well here for the Central Cass Squirrels. On our Norman County Raceway post-game report, take a look at our bracket breakdown brought to you in part by Bank North. So here's the schedule for the remainder of today in Oaks, and also scheduled for Monday pending that Mother Nature. Kindred will play in the championship, and they'll have to lose twice to not make state. So that means Central Cass, or one of our games with Oaks, Sargent County, Oak Grove, or Northern Cass, they would have to beat Kindred twice in that championship series. And for the Oak Grove Grovers and Oaks, the winner of this game will play the winner of our next game, Northern Cass Sargent County, later tonight. Then those winner of Game 12 will play the Central Cass Squirrels on Monday at 4 o'clock in our elimination contest, and the winner would play Kindred and have to beat them twice in the championship on Monday, then on Tuesday. And the series will shift after today, and the tournament will shift to Monday in Kindred. That's a bracket breakdown, again brought to you in part by Bank North. Go to banknorth.bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. So Oak Grove and Oaks coming up here in probably about 25 minutes or so. Then we'll get to Northern Cass Sargent County at 4 o'clock, and then from there the winner of those 2 games will play at 6 o'clock today here in Oaks, North Dakota. That does it for our post-game report, brought to you in part by Norman County Raceway. Check out the World of Outlaw Late Models on Tuesday, June 30th in Ada. Tickets now available at NormanCountyRaceway.com. Another good battle between the Squirrels and the Vikings here in high school sports. Kindred comes out on top 5-3 over Central Cass. Join us for more coming up here in just a few moments between the Tornadoes and the Grovers for an elimination contest on your live event.